guys, it's Maya. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. As you can see by the title, this reading is all about your next serious relationship. There is so much to unpack for this reading, and I've been waiting for a day that I have more time to record because it's just going to be such a long reading. I can already see this being like 3+ hours on YouTube, and then we also have an extended today, so there is so much to unpack, and I'm so excited. And this is a timeless message, so whenever you're stumbling upon this, it'll be relevant for your next serious relationship. You could be single, you could be in a situation, you could be in a relationship. It doesn't really matter. I feel like this reading could truly go for anybody because it's about like what's coming in next in your life. But if you're in like a happy relationship, then I'm sure you could still watch this, maybe talking about your current relationship, who knows. But my intentions for this is all about your next serious relationship, and we're going to be doing a deep dive. We're going to look at who this person is. We're going to look at their energy. We're going to look at your energy. What is the energy of this relationship between the two of you? We'll get all of the nitty gritty. There is a whole list that I wrote out, but I will go into that in the groups because that way it'll just kind of make more sense and I don't have to repeat myself too much. But yes, essentially this is all about your next serious relationship from whenever you are stumbling upon this video. So I have 4 groups for you guys to choose from. Each group has a different tarot deck, has a different crystal, and has a different card. They came out as I was shuffling, so there are many ways for you guys to choose your groups. And keep in mind, you can watch as many as you would like because, again, you can watch as many as you would like. There's absolutely no restrictions, there's no rules. You can do with this whatever you want to do. So yes, let me go ahead and show you all of your options up close one by one. Group 1, this is the Heaven and Earth Tarot. Group 1, this is the Heaven and Earth Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is the Zebra Jasper. Your random card is the King of Cups. Group 2, this is the Gentle Heart Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And this is a rose quartz. Your card is the Two of Cups. Group 3, this is a traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this African jade. And your random card is the Knight of Pentacles. Group 4, this is the Landscapes tarot deck. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this blue obsidian. Your random card is the Eight of Wands. Okay, you guys, I apologize the camera was acting weird for some of the decks. I think it's because of the flame right there. But these are all of your options laid out for you side by side. Take all the time you need, and like I said, you can watch as many as you want. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with group number 1. Hey guys, if you chose this King of Cups with the Heaven and Earth Tarot along with the Zebra Jasper, this is your group. Hello, group number 1. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let's quickly go over our reading today. Where do I want to set this? Okay, I can't decide where I want to keep this. Okay, let's just keep it there for now. So let's talk about our reading today. We have so much to go over, you guys. I'm not going to be surprised if this is a very long reading. So definitely watch this on like 2x speed if you wanted to go by a little faster. But basically, we're going to get started with the main traits of your person. We're going to look at things such as their personality, their appearance, zodiac signs, anything that's important. We'll also go ahead and look at their higher self and their 3D self. So this will really give us like a full overall 360 view of who this person is. And then we're going to go ahead and look at their strengths and their weaknesses. We'll look at their career and hobbies or whatever it is they like to do. And then we're gonna go into the second part of the reading, which is literally a deep dive into your relationship and what this energy will be like. So we will look at your connection or oh my god, your energy in the connection. We'll look at their energy in the connection, and then we'll also look at the energy of the connection itself. So that is like a full deep dive of what you can expect in this significant relationship of yours that's coming in. And then we also have an extended, which will be available on Patreon. And over there, we're going to see where are they now in the present moment. We're going to go ahead and see, are they ready for this connection? How will you guys meet each other? Are there any time frames? And we'll get direct channeled messages from them to whatever it is they want to say to you today in the present moment. So all of that will be in the extended, and that will be on Patreon. And on Patreon, you'll also get access to 15 plus other readings up there. There's exclusive content where the viewers over there suggest the monthly readings. So if you're interested in personalized messages over there, because it's kind of what people are wanting to see, then go ahead and check out Patreon, so you'll get access to the extended and access to all the other readings that are currently available there. And then, you know, you could probably suggest the readings for next month if you are interested. So definitely check all of that out. The link will be in the description below. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna kind of move this over. There's not much that is like coming through with this King of Cups, but I will say this is like the most buff King of Cups I've ever seen. And it's funny because normally I would think of the King of Cups as like maybe not somebody who is as fit as this person is. This kind of reminds me of like King of Wands energy, but in this deck, King of Cups is ripped. So we will leave that there. Let's go ahead and get started. So I divided this deck up into 3 piles. Here we have the major arcana, here we have the court cards, and then this is the rest of the deck. So we're gonna be pulling a card from each, and this will give us that overview of who this person is and all about them. The major arcana stack will give us their higher self, and then the court cards will show us their 3D self. So that's how we're gonna do that. Let's go ahead and get started. Oh, that didn't go anywhere. Okay, so for group number 1's next serious relationship, let's go ahead and get a card for their higher self, for their person that's coming through here. Group 1's next serious relationship. 1 card for their higher self, please. Oh, that almost wanted to come out. Group 1's next serious relationship. 1 card for their higher self. Oh. Starseed. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is the Fool. So we have Starseed for the major arcana. Let's go ahead and get a court card for their 3D self. Oh my, okay, that was fast, totally fell on me. We have the King of Cups. Oh my god, this is the exact same card you guys chose. So King of Cups is coming through pretty strong. And then let's go ahead and get a card from this pile for group number 1's next serious relationship. Let's go ahead and see. And then we have the 5 of Cups. So we have lots of water coming through. Okay, immediately I'm so yeah, I'm already getting messages. Okay. I feel like this person has had it kind of tough in life. I don't think life has been the easiest for them. They definitely were not handed all the luxuries on a silver platter. With the 5 of Cups here and with this King of Cups, I feel like this person, they're very emotionally intelligent and they're very emotionally involved, but it kind of came to them in not the best way. That's how it's coming through. It came to them through, you know, disappointment or through struggles, and that has caused them to like view the world in a certain way. And I'm not saying they're pessimistic or anything like that, but I do think like all of the hardships that this person has had has really helped them evolve emotionally. And I think as soon as you start to get to know this person, you would realize they have so much emotional depth and they are very wise. You know, they say things that are like so beyond their years, and you're just like, oh my gosh, how would you know all these things, you know? And I think they would tell you almost immediately, like, yeah, my life was not easy. Life has not been easy for me. I feel like this person could have had to figure out a lot of things by themselves. They could have been left alone, like kind of like abandoned in some way. You know, this is definitely heavier than I thought this would be. 444 on the time. It feels like they were either like abandoned, or maybe they were like put up for adoption, or maybe just like something happened when this person was younger and it caused them to kind of, they had to figure things out on their own. They didn't really have guidance, and they didn't really have that support at an early age. That's coming through very strongly for this group. So I know that's already very, very specific. But I feel like this person is not pessimistic at all. If anything, I think that it's just caused them to be very wise and very evolved, but they're still excited about life. They're still optimistic about things. And especially with the Fool here, it's interesting because this being their higher self, and this, the Fool is the first card in the major arcana cycle. So it almost feels like this is their first time existing as a spirit or as a soul or whatever it is that you believe in. Because you know how we say like, oh wow, like I'm an old soul, or this person has lived 100 lives, you know, like people say stuff like that. But I almost feel like with this being the first card, and with maybe the struggles that they have gone through in life, is that their soul was just born. Like this was, could have been literally their first lifetime, or it's like it's very new. So I feel like this person had to learn a lot, and maybe without even a lot of spiritual guidance from their higher self, because even their higher self is new, is a baby, and doesn't really know what was going on in that moment. Because this definitely does not feel like an old soul at all. Okay, so I really wanted to say that right away. So now I'm going to get into zodiac signs. So this is Mercury energy for the Fool. King of Cups, water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Five of Cups, this is specifically Scorpio energy. So fixed signs coming through strongly. Again, that actually makes a lot of sense, because Scorpio being a fixed sign, but Scorpio is all about transformation. It's all about that death and that ending and that renewal and rebirth. And it's like it's a very tricky energy, because it's like, yes, it's going to help us evolve, but it can be tough, it can be exhausting, it could be scary, it could like, it's a very intense energy. It's not for the faint of heart. And that kind of makes sense that we already see so much Scorpio energy, because I feel like this person has definitely had their share of transformations in this lifetime. And it's funny because I think if you would talk to them and like get to know them, they would be like, I can't believe that I'm so young, or I can't believe that it's only been so long. Because for them, I think with everything they've gone through, it literally feels like lifetimes. They would probably tell you they feel like they're a million years old. But then when you tell them, oh, but it seems like your soul, like this is the first time it's existing, I think they would be quite shocked. But they feel like they've lived a million lifetimes for sure, because of like everything they've been through. It just feels like dragged out, and it feels kind of slow, and it doesn't feel like 0 to 100, you know what I mean? It feels like 0 to 1 to 2 to 3. And even the way in this card, how normally like when we see the Five of Cups, it's like there's a person, and then the 2 cups are standing up, and then 3 of them are spilled. But in this sense, it looks like some kind of like a pathway, and you're following the cups. Like it feels like you're figuring it out as you're going. You're just like kind of following something. Maybe it's your intuition, maybe it's like whatever it is, but it almost feels like they're following the path instead of the traditional Five of Cups. And 4 of the cups have stuff in them instead of just the 3, which makes me feel like even though, you know, times have been tough, or they've had certain events that, you know, we can represent the spilled cup as like the hardships that this person has faced. I do think that with the cups that are standing up, it's like no matter what they've gone through though, they're still very happy. they're still very optimistic. They still look forward to their next blessings or the next tomorrow or whatever is coming up next. It's like they know that there's still more to go. I think that that's something this person has evolved into realizing, is that nothing, it's like it's not over, right? Like no matter what has ended or what has happened, there's always going to be something new, or there's always going to be the next thing. And I think that's something they've realized on their own. And another thing is, I think this person would give a lot of credit to themselves, which is true. They should. You know, I do think it's also giving the vibes of like they even raised themselves, or they like really just, it was just them, you know, they only had themselves to rely on. And maybe it's still that way, but it really feels like, yes, like they would credit themselves for their survival and for everything that's happened in their life. But I think like, I do think the universe has played some part in their guidance, but I don't know if this person would recognize it. I think they would give more credit to themselves, maybe. And I don't know, well, as of now, I can't really tell if this person is intuitive or not. And it almost feels like maybe even their higher self is not like fully integrated into the universe, or is not fully like understanding of like the universe and like divine power and a higher power or stuff like that. You know, it almost feels like even their higher self would credit their 3D self, because even their higher self is like figuring it out, that maybe they are being guided by something else. Interesting. I don't know if I've ever really received a message like that. Yeah, even like finding their way out of the darkness. It definitely feels like they've they've brought themselves out of dark times in their life. But with this King of Cups here, I really do feel that they are very happy to be who they are. Like this person, even though they could have had all these things happen to them, they would never like trade lives with anybody else. And they would probably even say that to you. They'd be like, I wouldn't trade this for anything, or I would never want to be somebody else. I think they genuinely love who they are. They are very happy with where they are, and especially with like the effort it took to get here to their current position in life. I think they would be very happy with just like with everything, and they really would not change anything. They've grown into their skin. They know who they are. I think this is a very very self-secure person as well. And yeah, they really love themselves with this King of Cups here. They wouldn't change it for anything. Because we have so much water here, I do think this person is very capable of being intuitive and to tap into their intuition. It feels like they're not really there yet, but if you are an intuitive person and you are spiritual, I definitely think you could open this person up to that in this connection. So we will see if that comes up at any point in time. But yeah, I feel like on their own right now they're not there, but there's so much potential for them to be, because they're coming through as heavy water signs here. Now, again, yes, I do think this person does love who they are, but I do think they get insecure at times, because I'm just looking at the contrast from like this energy, like this King of Cups to this King of Cups that you guys chose. And in this one, like this person is not making eye contact with us. They're not really looking in our direction. They're kind of looking off to the side, and it's almost like they're hiding their body. Like they don't really want us to see it that well. Like that's how it's coming through. But then this King of Cups is very direct, very revealing, very much like, look at me, I am here. So I almost feel like they're not 100% where they want to be when it comes to like their physical looks. And they could even be too hard on themselves at times. But it's like they go back and forth, because they know that like they don't need to be too hard on themselves, and that they're doing the best that they can given the circumstances in their life. But at the same time, I think they can be a little too hard on themselves at times. Or they could possibly get insecure easily. Because it's like they want this. It's like this message of like they want something that they don't have right now, but for some reason they think that either like their problems would be solved if they had that thing, or life would be easier if they had the thing that they don't have that they want. So for example, like this body, to look this way, like maybe they think that their life would be easier or some of their problems would be solved if they looked a certain way, but in reality that's not true. And I think that's something they're like learning or coping with or like healing from. And I wonder if you'll have a role in that healing journey for them. Okay, so that's like everything I'm really seeing. So let's go ahead, let's move this up. Very, very specific energy. And again, just as any readings, if you feel like you don't really resonate with this energy or, you know, whatever it is, definitely check out a different group. So let's go ahead and get started here. So with the deck that you guys chose, let's go ahead and look at their strengths. For physical appearance, before I forget about that and move on, they could have darker hair that's coming through, but this person has like darker skin, this person has like a lighter skin tone. So I think skin tone could be like anywhere on that spectrum, but I am definitely seeing darker hair, a pointy nose, either like either a buzz cut or very, very short hair, or like longer hair that maybe they put up in a bun or they tie back or they let their hair down, depending on, you know, this could be a masculine or a feminine energy. I definitely think they have full lips and like big lips. And I think they have a nice body, you know, I mean, both of these people look pretty slender and like they look fit, you know, to some extent. So I think they have like a nice body, even though that is very subjective. They seem fit. Yeah, I'm not really getting a whole lot right now though. And actually, one thing that's coming through about their personality is that they will really give you the benefit of the doubt. And I feel like that's something that, like, you know, that could go either way. Because if they really give everybody the benefit of the doubt, you might have to step up, especially if you don't do that. You might have to step up and be like, hey, like, we can't do that. We need to have boundaries with other people or something like that. I think they're used to giving everyone the benefit of the doubt, or they're just so kind-hearted that they like want to see the good in everybody. So they, you know, it almost feels like it would be good for them to be with somebody that's a little that's not as kind-hearted, or that has better boundaries, or that can be a bit more strict with people, because I almost feel like they overdo it. And maybe they're like compensating for something, I don't know, but it does feel like they are almost too kind, to the point of maybe people taking advantage of them, and they could have like a tough time seeing that at times, or like recognizing that. Interesting. Okay, that's what I'm seeing so far, but let's go ahead and continue. So let's go ahead and see, what are their strengths? So for group one here, what are their strengths? Oh, you know what I just realized? We got 2 for strengths. I just realized that this person is holding 2 cups. So that really makes me feel like they are definitely craving and looking for this emotional connection with somebody. And maybe that's why they're like really kind to everybody, because I think they are trying to find emotional stability, especially if they haven't had emotional stability in life. Because the 5 of Cups really does talk about disappointments. So it's just making me feel like they are so ready to meet you, or they're so ready to have a healthy emotional connection with somebody. And with this being the King of Cups, I do think they have worked on themselves a lot compared to like where they have been or who they used to be. I think this person has definitely evolved a lot. And we even said that in the very beginning, they're very emotionally intelligent for most of the times. But yeah, I think just with the way this person is holding up 2 cups, I think they're very ready to meet you. And I think this would really be like the sweetest person because, again, all of this water energy, they're nurturing, they're kind, they have such a big heart. And it's like they just want to love somebody. Like they just want to take all of this emotion and love that they have and like really put it and direct it to the right place. And I think this person would treat you really, really well because they're so loving. Okay, so let's look at their strengths. We have 2 cards. We have the Empress. And then we have the Knight of Wands that came out together. Okay, so Empress is Venus energy. So this is Taurus and Libra. And then Taurus is actually a fixed sign, so that could also be significant. And then we have the Knight of Wands. Here we have fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. And we also have the number 3. The number 5 could be significant. This is the number 0. 0 could be significant. Okay, let me actually pull the rest of the cards. That way I kind of have a better idea of what I'm looking at. So now let's go ahead and look at what is one of their weaknesses for this person. What is one of their weaknesses? Oh my God, it's the Fool. It's literally the Fool. This is the card we've been talking about. Okay. And then let's go ahead and look at what is their current career. What is their current career? We have the Moon. And then let's go ahead and see what are their hobbies or anything that they like to do for fun. What are their hobbies or anything they like to... Oh my God, I cannot take all of that. What are their hobbies or anything they like to do for fun? Oh, and then bottom of the deck, the High Priestess. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles. So we have 2 knights out here at the same time. For their career, I'm going to bounce around. I kind of want to start with this career. For this coming up as the Moon, I feel like this person, they don't really know what they're doing in life. I don't think they have found like their calling, or they haven't really found the thing that they want to do, or maybe they had something in the past, but now they're not really that into it anymore. It just feels like an unknown. They just don't really, I definitely think they are like working or like supporting themselves, like they have some kind of a career, but I think that they are figuring it out. They could even be starting a whole new career path. Maybe they're even like going back to school for something else or learning something completely new. It just really feels like there was no emotional satisfaction, and there was a lot of confusion when it came to their career and their jobs. So I think maybe they were just like doing whatever just to do something, you know, or just to survive, but it just feels like they haven't found the thing that really makes them happy when it comes to their career, but they are trying to figure it out. I do think this person with the Moon here, the Moon always like shows me like we are trying to put an effort to figure it out. Like we are in an unknown, but it's like we recognize that we are in an unknown and we are doing something about it. And this is Cancer energy here, so again, a lot of water signs coming up. There's a beetle. Beetles could be significant. Dogs, well, there's a wolf here and there's a dog. Oh, interesting. There's that contrast again of like, yeah, how do I say this? It's like what they are and what they want to be. Because the wolf seems like the more dominant one or the superior one. I'm putting major air quotes. But then this is just a little pup. You know what I mean? It's like they are a little pup, but it's like they want to be something else, or they see themselves as something else, or they're aspiring to be something else. Yeah, I definitely think this person is trying to like better themselves in life, or really trying to figure out how can they live their ideal life? How can they really get to being that person? And I honestly love that because we're not perfect, you know, and I feel like a lot of times when we have these readings, like we expect a perfect person, which is just so not true. Like we're all human, we're all going through our own things. And I like love that this person's energy is very raw and it's very real and it's talking about like real life circumstances that we all deal with. And it's not just like Prince Charming that fell out of a storybook, you know? Oh, you know what's so interesting? I really do think this person is in a position in life where they're looking for guidance. They could be turning to religion. It's interesting. I was thinking about like a cathedral, maybe even a church earlier. It does feel like they are looking towards God or towards a higher power or towards a certain religion or something for guidance right now, in order to help them get to where they need to go. Because even with the high priestess down here, it's making me feel like they are really trying to tap into their intuition or tap into their spiritual side to kind of help them. 18 could be a significant number. 2, 3, 0, like I mentioned earlier. Yeah, I think in their career, they're really trying to figure out how can they get to the ideal life that they want to live right now. For their weaknesses, it's so interesting because we have the Fool, and I was just talking about the Fool. And there is a little wolf in this as well. I might have to clarify that because I'm trying to figure out how that's a weakness. So maybe we'll come back to the Fool. For their strengths, we have the Empress and we have the Knight of Wands. They don't give up easily. I think that is coming through very strongly with the Knight of Wands here. And with the Empress, I feel like they're very nurturing towards themselves. Even though they have moments where they might feel insecure or they might feel a certain type of way, at the end of the day, I feel like they're very grounded and they don't stray like too far away from that. I also feel like this person has a really good vision on what they want. And we've already seen that quite a few times, maybe whether it's about their physical appearance, whether it's about something like their career or their life path or whatever it is. It does feel like they have a very good idea of what they want. Because the Empress, to me, she's very much like an ideal reality of what people would want in this sense. And it makes me think like this person knows exactly who they want to be, but they're just trying to figure out how do I get there, especially if they're not given all the resources that they would need to get there quickly. But I feel like they have a lot of passion, they have a lot of determination, they have a lot of willpower, they have a lot of strength. So it's like they don't give up easily, especially because they have a goal. So it's like they're very determined to see it through. And that is one of their strengths. They're not somebody to just like give up easily because they know what they want and they will go and get it. Again, you know, there's a lot of feminine energy coming through, but even with the Empress, it's making me think of emotional stability, and I think that's definitely one of their strengths that like keeps them level-headed is their emotional stability within themselves and also just like their emotional intelligence. Like if they didn't have that emotional intelligence, I think they could definitely be persuaded to go in multiple different directions and maybe be a little clueless or find chaos, you know. But I feel like because they're rooted in that way, they're not necessarily headed in like all these different directions. And I would say right now, I'm going to clarify this in a second for their weakness, but I will say right now, one thing that that they're doing in their current life. This is not really coming through as like a hobby, but it is coming through that they are taking their they're more intentional with their steps, or they're more intentional with the things that they're doing on a regular basis, because they are planning for the long term with this Knight of Pentacles. It's a slow energy, but we are building something stable, something that's going to last us a very long time. So I think right now in their life, they're not really doing things just all like willy-nilly. They're not just like being impulsive and reckless and stuff like that. I really think that they're trying to figure this out, figure themselves out, and they're being very intentional with every step, because like one thing will have a reaction to something else, and they know that they have an end goal that they need to get to. So they're going to make sure, even if it's slow and it's taking one step at a time, they're going to make sure that they get there. Oh my God, 5 of Cups again. Look at that. And this is the traditional image I was talking about, with the 3 cups that have spilled over and the 2 cups that are standing up. There's definitely some sadness going on with this person. It's possible that like something happened recently in their life for this message to keep coming up. You know, maybe just in the past year or 2 years, maybe something happened that has made them very disappointed, very upset, sad. Because for some of you, this doesn't have to be like a lifelong thing. This could have just been something that happened. Maybe they went through a recent heartbreak. They went through a recent something in life that made them sad. Because this energy definitely feels like that transformative energy I mentioned in the very beginning. Like they are healing. They are probably going through a dark night of the soul right now. Okay, I want to clarify this Fool really quick. Let's clarify this Fool as a weakness, please. We have 2 that came out at the same time. Whoa, these are mirroring. We have the number, oh no, they're not mirroring. They're the same number. I think I'm going crazy. Okay, we have 2 6s that came out at the same time. So 6 could be a significant number. The 6th month, the 6th day. Maybe there's a 6-year age gap between some of you. So we have the 6 of Wands and we have the 6 of Cups. So the key word here is victory, and the key word here is pleasure. Yeah, that makes sense with the Fool. I really think that one of their weaknesses is something that we already talked about, is that they are too giving, or they're too nice to like everybody, or to people that really don't deserve it in some way. And they're very much like always looking to lend a helping hand to people or to somebody. And I think they just have like a soft spot, especially if it's like someone in their family, or if it's something to do with their past or their childhood or something like that. They really have a soft spot for certain people, certain things. And I feel like they are just giving, like they would really give a lot to this situation without really thinking about it. And I think that is one of their weaknesses, because like I said, it could go too far. They could get taken advantage of. Yeah, I would say that's probably what I'm seeing here for their weakness. They could also be putting too much pressure on themselves when it comes to like, if they're taking care of other people, so like if they have family members or if they have kids or something like that. I think one of their weaknesses is like, we see that they're determined and they're ready to fight for what they want, but I think a weakness could be like they overdo it, or they are like a little, it's like not practical with the way they think they could like do something. And the way it's coming through, like for example, say they have a kid, or they have like a family member or somebody that they provide for and they like need to do more, like to them they're just like, oh, that's okay, I can just pull an all-nighter shift, like I can just work all night, work all day, I can just keep going. That's the thing, it's like their weakness is this burnout, but it's like they don't think about the burnout because they are very consumed with this idea of, oh, it's fine, I'll take care of it, I'll take care of this situation, I'll take the burden, I'll take the load. That's like, I think the best way I can describe this energy. They're like, I'll just do it, I can do all of it by myself, it's fine. That's how it's coming through as a weakness. And maybe that is also going into that we're very giving to other people energy as well. Yeah. Okay. So this is what I'm seeing for this very specific energy here. I would be very interested to know if some of you already know this person or if like this energy sounds familiar to you. So now we're going to go into the second part of this reading here on YouTube, where we're going to be looking at the entire connection here. So we're going to be looking at your energy in this relationship. We're looking at their energy in this relationship, and then the energy of the relationship itself. So there is a lot to talk about, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so now I have a whole bunch of new cards out. I do have the cards from the previous spread. They're all right here if we need to go back to it. So this is your energy on this side, this is their energy on this side, this is the energy of the connection itself. So basically my intentions with this is your energy in the connection. This is what you would be like in this serious connection of yours. This is what they would be like in the connection, and this will help us to see what the connection will be like. This will help us see the influences you guys might have on each other, or the dynamics, or just really like anything, but really so we can get a better idea of the connection itself. So let's go ahead and get started with your energy. Aw, the feeling is mutual. Cutie. I love that. That's so cute. Ooh, protection with onion and the number 9. You know, I was kind of sensing this already. Let's see. I was kind of sensing this because we're kind of seeing that, you know, your person has been going through something, and it's like kind of a heavy energy on their end, and I was sensing that like they maybe need guidance from you, or they need support from somebody here, and I feel like you would be very protective, you know, about this person. You're like, don't mess with them, you know. We have temperance. Okay, yeah, this is making a lot of sense. Exactly, patience. Temperance and patience are pretty much the same card. That's what temperance is. It's about having patience about a situation. And the sun, we have success, recognition, and enthusiasm with the number 19. Oh, I love it. You really love this person. All right, we're gonna have to move this little guy. You really, really love this person. And I think that's why you can stay so patient with them. That's why you can really be there for them and help them and be protective over them. It's because you actually genuinely care about them. You care about their well-being. And I think this is something that you'll just be in this energy every day, you know, throughout this entire connection. And it's just like you really want them to reach their ultimate potential, and you know what their potential is, you know what they're capable of, and I think you will really like try to be there for them in that way. I think that this person really inspires you as well. Like, you're very inspired by their determination, their hard work, with everything that they have been through in life. And you almost like want to make it easier on them. Like, you want this part of their life to be easier, or you want them to be a part of an enjoyable relationship. I really feel like you would go out of your way to make this person feel loved, to feel happy, to feel safe, to really like be with them. Even with this onion, I feel like your love language in this relationship could be like acts of service. And one thing I'm thinking of is cooking. I feel like you show your love to this person while you cook, or you know, you're cooking for them, and that's how you're showing your love for them. Or it's also in a very nurturing energy. It's like you're taking care of them. You want to make sure they're fed. You want to make sure they have everything taken care of, and you're really like in this very loving and nurturing energy towards this person. Let's go ahead and see what else is going on here before I continue. I hope everything fits. Okay, so now for their energy, let's go ahead and see what's going on. Who am I? Okay, that makes sense, actually. That makes a lot of sense. Because we were just saying they don't know who they are, right? And I think in this relationship, you kind of help them navigate. I said that earlier too, like you would guide them, or I said something about guidance, didn't I? Love. Oh my God, that's so cute. We have tomato with love and the number 30. 30 could be significant. 9, 39, 19. What is this? 14? 14 could be significant. We have the 8 of Wands, Sagittarius energy, and Temperance is also Sagittarius energy. So that could be a specific sign for some of you. That season could be specific for some of you. Oh my gosh, and the rainbow. Didn't I say in the very beginning? Or no, I didn't. I didn't say rainbow. Did I? I'm going crazy. I was thinking about a rainbow, and I guess I didn't say it. Okay, exalted mood with self-regulation. Oh, I love it. And the 6 of air with relief, hope, moving on. Oh my gosh, what a breath of fresh air. I feel like this person can finally breathe in this connection with you, because you see them for who they really are. You know, you see them that they are a person who is trying to do better, who is trying to establish something within themselves, who is healing, who has trauma, who has been through a lot. I feel like you could be like this could be one of the first times somebody sees them as like a real person. And I said that earlier too. I was like, this is actually great, because this is showing us that this is a real human being, and this is not just somebody that came out of a fairy tale that has the perfect life and the perfect scenario. I feel like maybe for the longest time people have judged this person because of their hardships, because of what they have been through, because they're not like that perfect life person. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like they have been judged, and this is the first time that they feel seen, they feel heard, and they feel loved, because you are not trying to change them. You love them for exactly who they are, with all of everything they've been through. You love them, and you just want the best for them. So you are helping them grow, and they could see that. They see the love, they see the nurturing energy you give, they see you taking care of them, they see you being protective, they see you being patient with them as well. And I really do think that you help this person try to understand who they are, and try to, even the self-regulation, you know, you help them try to discover who they really are, or what they really want, or where they want to go, or just like, you know, what's going on. You really give this person a sense of direction in their life. And I think that's the one thing they could have been lacking, because we see they have these plans, they have these ideas, but because they've been through so much, maybe they were lacking that guidance or that direction in some way. And I feel like you really give them that. Oh, and this love is so cute. And tomatoes, you know, I was just talking about cooking. So I definitely think, oh, I think you guys actually could be cooking together. That could be something you guys do together, is you cook. Oh, it's so funny. On this card, it says a love potion. So it's funny, they're literally so in love with you that they are like, oh my God, am I under a spell? Did this person put a spell on me? And I love the rainbow here as well, because, and even with, you know, the 6 of air talking about moving into a better situation in life, transitioning, having more peace, you know, moving on to something better. And with this rainbow, really talking about happiness. That's what I was saying. They were in a dark place, and it's possible they were still in that dark place. Maybe they still are when you're in this connection, but I definitely think before meeting you, they were in a very dark place, and you help them see the light. You help them get to this rainbow. You help them move on and to heal and to do all these things that they have been wanting to do for a very long time, or things that they were having a tough time to do on their own. You finally gave them hope again as well. I love that we have the 8 of Wands here, because this is really talking about expansion. I feel like your person's energy in this connection is they are just growing. They're growing, and every day they're getting closer to that ideal version of themselves. Every day they're healing. They're just expanding. You know, they are finally put in a place where they can thrive in the energy, with an energy that they can thrive, and they are just growing and expanding constantly. I feel like if this person started off insecure, you make them secure. If this person started off feeling less confident, you make them feel confident. If they started off feeling unloved, you make them feel loved. If they started off feeling unworthy, you make them feel worthy. I'm literally gonna cry because this is like the most genuine, sweetest energy I've read in a long time. And this really feels like somebody who was so lost, but they found their light, which is you, literally the sun, coming into their life and helping them realize there is so much more to live for, and that they can get to where they want to be in life. You know what this is making me think of? Brenda's song and McCulloch, if I'm saying his name right, McCulloch, because I know that like before they got together, he was kind of like doing drugs. He was going down a really bad path. He was like losing a lot of weight, really unhealthy, maybe even like suicidal at some point in his life, like in really bad shape. And then he met Brenda Song, and she just saw so much love and light and potential that was just waiting to come out of that darkness. And now they're thriving. Literally, if you look at like before and after photos, this is like the happiest he's ever looked. He's healthy, he's happy, they have kids together, they're married, you know, and he always, like to this day, says like she's the best thing and she saved him. And she's just always loved him. She always thought that like he was the one, even when he was in the dark and in that energy. Like she always thought he was the one. She always saw the potential in him, and she really helped him get to that. And I love that because that's like what I'm feeling here. I feel like you are Brenda Song and this is the other person, and I feel like that's what you've seen and you do see, and you are like, I'll do whatever I want, whatever I need to help you to get there. Somebody could have a moon tattooed on them, or like the moon phases tattooed, or maybe you guys get matching tattoos together at some point in time. Yeah, and it's like, this is how you know that you really love them, and that this is how they also know that you really love them, because you wouldn't just keep up with somebody, especially when it's like healing and all this very intense energy of coming out of the darkness. It's like you wouldn't keep up with somebody that's going through that if you didn't really love them, right? Like that almost feels like a chore if you didn't care about this person or if you didn't really love this person. But I feel like, especially with the sun here and with how genuine your energy is, it really makes me feel like you love them and they can see it too in this connection. Let's see what is the overall energy of the connection itself. Oh my gosh. This is what I'm saying. It literally says guardian, and there's literally an angel holding the other person. 9 of angels. Like, if this is not you holding this person, I don't know what is. That is literally what we were talking about. You are their guardian angel. Ooh, accelerated motion. Nice. This is the exact same card. Accelerated motion number 8 is the 8 of Wands in this deck. Yeah, the overall energy of this connection is loving, nurturing energy. This energy where both people can rely on each other. But it does feel very much like healing somebody back to health. Like that's really how it's coming through. And this could honestly be physical health for some of you. Maybe somebody had some kind of a body like accident, you know, maybe they're going through like physical therapy or something, you know. So it's very possible this could have been a physical accident that you're helping this person heal from. That's also taking a toll on everything else in their life. But this could also be just like that darkness or mental health or depression or whatever it is. It's like, I really feel like you're healing this person back to health and helping them become the person that they want to be and the person you know they can be. And I love accelerated motion here because it is showing that things are progressing here. We're not just the same people, the same energy from day one to months into it. You know, it's showing us that you are making progress with each other. Both of you are making progress as individuals, but also the relationship itself is making progress and is moving in the right direction together. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, I can't believe that it's literally guardian and a person that's an angel that's holding the other person. Because that's literally like you. Like, you're coming through as an angel here as well with temperance. Yeah, this is giving like right person, right time, divinely guided. You're meant to come into this person's life to help them heal and to help them just love life again, to help them love themselves again. And I will say, not everyone is cut out for this. You know, not everyone can be Brenda Song. So it really feels like this is a very specific reading for probably just a hand, like a select few people, just like a handful of people. Because I don't think this is like everyone's reading. Because not everyone can be this guardian angel energy of patience, love, nurturing, protection. Like, not everyone can be that. So I think this is a very specific reading. Okay, so this is everything I'm seeing. Now we're going to go into the rest of the reading. Where is my book? Oh, there it is. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead into the extended. We'll go ahead and see where are they now in the real world. And we can also kind of compare to this timeline that we have been seeing with them. So we can kind of see if they're just kind of starting off on some kind of a healing journey, or if something just happened to them, or if they're kind of further along, you know. So we'll kind of see where are they, and then we'll see, are they ready for this connection? Are they ready to meet you? We'll go ahead and see how will you meet this person. We'll get any time frames, and we'll also get messages from them as well. I just remember in the very beginning, well, maybe not in the very beginning, but at some point with that King of Cups holding 2 cups, I was saying, oh, this person is ready to be loved and to give love. Like, they're ready for that kind of an emotional connection. This is what it is. That's crazy how like all of that just, it was a full circle. Okay, so that's everything we're going to be getting into on the extended. Like I said, that is available on my Patreon, and you will also have access to a bunch of other exclusive readings. There's also some extended readings on there. There's just a bunch of stuff going on, and basically the viewers on Patreon get to suggest the monthly readings, so everything is like personalized to what people want to see over there. So definitely go ahead and check that out. You'll get access to the extended and everything else all for that one price. So yeah, go ahead, check it out, and hopefully I'll see you over there on Patreon. If not, thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you for watching this. Please like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose this 2 of Cups with the rose quartz here, this is your group. Hello, group number 2. I do want to mention, when I was shuffling for the intro card for all of the decks, this card came flying out so fast, and it did like literally jump out of the deck, and it fell like right over here face up. So I did see what the card was, but it's just the energy that it came out in. It just like really gave me the chills, because this is all about this is a love reading. This is all about your next serious relationship, and the 2 of Cups is a soulmate card. So the way that it just like jumped up, and the energy and like everything around it, I was just like, oh my gosh, like it gave me the chills, and I was very intrigued to see what this reading would be about for group 2. So there's definitely some like spiritual connection here with you and either your soulmate or you and your next serious relationship. It could definitely be the same person for some of you, or it's like your next serious relationship is a very significant relationship in your life. So yeah, very excited to see all of that. So let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, there's a lot to talk about here on YouTube. We're going to be going in with the main traits of this person. So for your next serious relationship, I want to see like everything about who this person is, their personality, their appearance, their zodiac signs, anything to do with astrology that we can get. We'll also be looking at their higher self and their 3D self, so literally like a full 360 view of who your next serious relationship is with. We're gonna look at their strengths and their weaknesses. We'll also look at their career and their hobbies, you know, all of that. And then this is a second section of our reading today. We're going to be diving into your actual relationship with this person. So we're going to see what your energy is going to be, what their energy is going to be, and what is the energy of the connection for this relationship. So this on its own is going to be like a whole segment to this reading. And I was actually going to say, maybe watch this on like faster speed, because I do talk kind of fast, but I mean, I don't know, we'll be talking a lot today, so maybe you want to kind of go through it quicker if you want. Okay, so then we do have an extended, which is going to be available on Patreon. So if you're already on Patreon, then you will already have access to this. But basically, we're going to go ahead and see where are they in this time frame that we're talking about. We'll see, are they ready for this connection that we've been talking about? We'll go ahead and see, how will you guys meet? Are there any time frames? And we'll get messages from them. So this will be on Patreon along with all of the readings that are already on there. We have a ton of exclusive readings over there, and basically the viewers of Patreon get to suggest the monthly readings, so it's super personalized for like what people like actually want to see over there. And yeah, so you get an extended and other extendeds as well for different readings. There's other content, and then there's also a ton of in-depth tarot readings over there on Patreon too. So you're getting everything for one price. If that's something you're interested in, the link to that will be in the description below. So let's get started. I love like all the pink going on for this group, because this is pink, my nails are pink. It's kind of like all matching, and I really like that. That could be something about their aesthetic. Maybe they have like very nice aesthetic. Maybe they're a bit more, they have like really good style. And especially if this is like a guy, maybe they're just a bit more like put together than like a traditional guy would be. Maybe even a girl too. But it's kind of like, you know, like stereotypically we have this idea of like a masculine energy just being like cluttered and just like not taking care of their home or not having good aesthetic. But I feel like in some way this person could have really good aesthetic, and it could like surprise you because you just weren't expecting that, or they have really good style and like you weren't expecting that. Anyway, so I have this deck here. I have split it up into the major arcana, the court cards, and then everything else that's a part of the deck is in here. So basically we're going to be looking at these. Okay, so we're going to be pulling a card from each pile separately, but it's like an overall view of who this person is, and then their higher self is going to come through the major arcana, and then their 3D self is going to come through the court cards. But all of it together is this beautiful image of who your next relationship is with. So let's go ahead and get started. 444. Oh, that was fast. We have the sun. So this is the sun, and like I said, we'll use that for their I have no space on my deck. We'll use that for their higher self. You know what? Just to like make it easier, maybe I'll just keep it like this. Okay, so we have the sun here. So now for a court card and also their 3D self, let's go ahead and get a card for group 2's next serious relationship. A court card, also their 3D self on Earth. Group 2, all about their next serious relationship. The Knight of Wands. Okay, that makes sense. We have more fire. And then for the rest of the deck, let's get one card to describe group 2's next serious relationship person. For group 2, all about their next serious relationship person. Who's coming through for group 2? Oh, that fell into my lap, but 2 came out at the same time. I don't know, I'm hesitant. Because sometimes this deck is kind of hard to shuffle, so then a bunch of cards just kind of fly out. Okay, group 2, all about their next significant relationship. Whoa, that one almost wanted to come out. It's interesting that like these two cards came out so quickly, but maybe it's also, you know, benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's also because the deck is much smaller and this is such a thick deck. Okay, Seven of Swords. Okay, so to talk about zodiac signs first, we have a lot of fire. We have Leo here with the sun. We have fire signs with the Knight of Wands, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And then we have the Seven of Swords, and this is Aquarius energy. I'm trying to think, what is it specifically? I like really want to say like Mercury in Aquarius, but I feel like I could totally be wrong. But this is Aquarius for sure. So it's interesting. You know how I was just saying that this person could like surprise you in some way? Like they look a certain way, but then the more you get to know them, they kind of like surprise you because you're like, oh, I was not expecting that from you. Like I'm almost feeling that immediately because with the Seven of Swords, I was immediately thinking of science. And in some decks, I know in like some tarot decks, the Six of Swords is considered the science card. But I immediately thought of science, and then I thought of this Aquarius energy, and then I thought of somebody being very, very intelligent. So this could be somebody who's really good in science, they could be some kind of an engineer, or it's like they're very intelligent and they can process things very, very quickly, which makes them get things done very quickly. But it's also like they're able to just move up in like education, in their profession, and whatever it is they're doing because they're so smart. And this would be like a person that is smarter than the average person that you would meet, but they don't look like they would be a genius, but they're coming through as a genius. I think on the outside, especially with the Knight of Wands coming through as their 3D self, they're very attractive. And again, like there's so many like stereotypical things that I'm saying here, but I feel like this person like breaks all stereotypical norms, because with the Knight of Wands, this is like a very attractive person to me. Like they have the most beautiful features, they're very chiseled, they just have like a beautiful facial structure, and they're very, very physically attractive. Like there's a lot of sex appeal with this person. And so then when you like see them, you see how attractive they are, and then maybe you think they could even be kind of ditzy, or they could be like very unserious in life because of how attractive they are, or because of just like their presence. But then it's like as you get to know them, you realize they're so much smarter, and there's so much depth to them, there's so much depth to their intellectual capacity than you would expect from this like very beautiful, attractive, model looking person on the outside, which is so interesting. Because yeah, I think there's like many things about this person that could really catch you off guard and make you think, oh my god, I was not expecting that. Or they're like always surprising you. Like as you get to know them more and more, they're constantly surprising you. And even with the Seven of Swords, it's funny because this card could traditionally talk about some deceiving energy. Like something is just not what it seems, and maybe this person is like keeping something hidden intentionally. And in this sense, I almost feel like they don't really want everyone to know that they are a genius, or they're very good at something, or maybe they even have some kind of like a higher position at work or something like that. It's like they just want people to see them for what they are on the outside and their personality, but they don't share their intellectual mind with just anybody. I think they're very selective on who they share that with. But also it could just be multiple aspects of their life. I'm not saying that they are intentionally hiding things from you or from people, but definitely with their like serious partner, they are an open book. They would tell you everything, you would know everything. But I think just in general, this person would kind of keep a lot of things to themselves, because for one, because of how they rationalize things, they're very logical and they're very realistic. So if like, especially if you have differences, and you know, differences in opinions and differences in like what other people think is right or wrong, or versus what they think, for them they're just so rational that it's like there's no point even arguing. Like, okay, I'll agree with you, let's move on. You know, this person, it's almost coming through as like they save their train of thought. Like they don't want to put too much energy into their mental capacity when they don't need to, because they're already doing something very difficult. Like this person, like I said, it could be science, it could be engineering, it could be math, they could be a doctor. It's like they do something on a regular basis that requires a lot of thinking. So when they don't need to be thinking so much, they just don't even give into it. So it almost feels like they don't even really feel the need to like debate a lot of the times, because they just like don't care, because they don't want to burn themselves out, because they're already doing so much with whatever's going on in their life. That's so interesting. Um, yeah, very, very attractive. With this coming out as the Knight of Wands, I would say they're young. They're probably in like their 20s, maybe going into 30s. But it's tough because when it comes to like the court cards, it really has to do with like maturity and like your energy in that moment. But it doesn't always tell us the age, because somebody could be a lot older and still be in a Knight of Wands energy. Um, so yeah, I mean, age, take that if you want. But I do feel like they're, they're, they're very like lighthearted. It's definitely giving like center of attention, extroverted, spontaneous. I'm even thinking like frat boy vibes, but or frat girl vibes. Or I mean sorority girls, not frat girls. But you know what I mean. It's coming through as somebody who's very lively, who's very fun, who could be center of attention. And because they're so beautiful, I think a lot of people talk to them. They're very outgoing. They're very good with conversations. Um, Yeah, even the way they speak could catch you off guard. Because again, if they look like a Ken or a Barbie, but then you speak to them and they speak in using like big terminology, or they're very concise and they're very coherent, you're just like, oh my God, like I was not expecting that to come out of your mouth. But on the outside, yeah, they're very fun. They're very exciting in the 3D. I think this person probably has a lot of friends. I also feel like they're a good mix of like extroverted and introverted, though, because I do feel a sense of them being closed off in certain times. I feel like they could burn themselves out if they're like just extroverted 24/7 all the time. They can't do that. I do think this person needs a good balance of like their alone time, their quiet time, time to just do what they want to do. I feel like this person could read a lot, or yeah, like reading whatever it is they're reading. It could be literally scientific journals, or it could be just like fiction or nonfiction, like something for fun, but I feel like this person probably likes to read a lot. They just like to keep the gears going, like in their brain. They don't really like to sit around and not exercise their brain. I'm hearing this person say like my brain is a muscle and I need to keep exercising it. Again, which is why they don't give into like unnecessary things. Yeah, there's a lot of depth to them. This is also the type of person who's not afraid to speak up if they feel threatened, or if they don't agree with something and it's like actually like a big deal. They're not afraid to speak up, because another thing with Aquarius is they really stand up for humanity, or like the greater change, the greater cause. So if there are certain times in their life where they feel like, okay, I need to say something, I need to step up, or I need to like get people to understand something, they will. So when I'm saying that they're like 50-50 with what they share with people, I don't want you to get the idea that they are shy or that they are scared to speak their voice. They're really not. I just think they're just selective on when they are speaking up, because they just, they don't really feel the need to. But if they do want to, oh, they will stand up for what they believe in or what they feel to be right. This is a very, very logical person. Again, with all the science and math and like all the stuff, they're very set in like, I need proof, and again, all of these things that come with, I feel like this person, they might not be the most spiritual person, or maybe they are, but they can't explain it, because like their rational mind can't like pinpoint a higher power or God or the universe or something like that. It's like I do feel a sense of clash between or within them, because they're so rational, they're so logical, but then at the same time they feel certain things or they see certain things happen and they're just like, oh, like that doesn't make sense. So I don't know, maybe they're kind of getting into spirituality, or maybe they're kind of skeptical about it, but I think they do have moments to where like they just can't explain what's happening in a logical way. I feel like this person's higher self matches their 3D self very well. With the sun coming out here, I mean, this Leo energy, again, it's a very vibrant, it's just like fireworks. It's very, it takes up a lot of space. Like that's how I'm seeing it. It's like it just takes up a lot of space, and it's not an energy that's like kept in a bubble. It's very expansive, and it's warm, it's friendly, it's fun, and they're just happy. They're a happy person. They really love life. They love what they're doing. And I feel like that's just how they are on a soul level as well. And I think their higher self, you know, obviously like all of our higher selves are more involved than our 3D selves. And I do get that sense here because the sun is a very evolved energy. Like this is Leo at the most evolved you can possibly be, but then the Knight of Wands still has some evolving left to do. So, because they're not the King of Wands or the Queen of Wands, you know, they're the Knight. So they're still a little bit lower on that evolvement scale, but I do feel like they are slowly catching up, and maybe that's why they question certain things, because their higher self understands certain things or sends them certain signs and synchronicities, but then in their 3D self they don't really understand what's going on. Interesting. Yeah. So we have the number 19 here, and we have the number 7. So the 7th month of the year, the 7th day, the 19th day of a month could all be significant. If we add up 19, we get 20, I don't know, or like 27 could be significant. 26 could be a significant number as well. Yeah, mid 20s. I'm really feeling like early to mid 20s, maybe even pushing into like late 20s. I'm trying to see if I can get more information out of the Sun card here. I would say people are definitely just drawn to this person. They have a very magnetic aura. So people are just like mesmerized. They're just drawn to them. Like not only is it their physical beauty, but it's just their aura. You know, sometimes you just can't explain why you're so drawn to somebody, or like, and you're just like, oh my god, like it's so much more than what they just look like this person has swag, they have the charisma, they have the confidence, and it's also just like they're just radiating from within with the sun coming through as their higher self, that it's just like undeniable. Like it's absolutely undeniable. This also the type of person, like they could make friends very easily wherever they go. And I also think you would have to like, yeah, I could see that kind of going the wrong way if you were not secure in yourself or something like that, because this is a very secure person, and they definitely have a lot of admirers, they have a lot of eyes on them, and they're very ambitious. So they will absolutely climb to the top of the mountain. They will try to accomplish all of their goals and dreams in life. And if you are the type of person that is intimidated by that, or you know, like you're not comfortable with somebody that's a go-getter like that, or could possibly be center of attention all the time like that, I think this person could definitely make you insecure or even make you upset. So I think like you would have to have a very specific view of yourself and have a very specific personality to like go along with this person. And I feel like you would have to be very similar in that sense as well. Like you're also a go-getter. Maybe people are also drawn to you in a very specific way. You know, I could definitely see like jealousy coming up if you didn't understand, like if you didn't understand them that well. But they're also extremely loyal. I definitely don't think that this is the type of person to ever make you upset. If they did make you upset, it's not intentionally to make you upset. And that's what I'm feeling. It's like you could get upset because they're chatting with people that you don't want them to be chatting with, or like people are like buying them drinks, or like, you know, just making their way to this person, and like you could get upset, but they're like, oh, but I'm not doing this intentionally. So I could see where there could be misunderstandings there, because I do think this person has a very big heart, especially with the sun being their higher self. Like the sun never wants to upset you, and they do everything with pure and genuine intentions. So they would never intentionally hurt you, never intentionally try to make you upset. Um, I also think this person is really good with boundaries, even if they don't look like they would be that way. Again, if they're just this handsome, charismatic, charming, extroverted, talkative person that just becomes friends with everybody, I do feel like this energy here, though, that like causes them to kind of go within and close up a little bit. And even, this like mental energy definitely like explains to them like, hey, like we have boundaries, so I don't think this person would ever really cross boundaries. Yeah, and you know what? They're already like they're already coming through and they're saying like this has been a misunderstanding in previous relationships because that's just me. I'm just this extroverted, outgoing person. I talk to everybody. People are drawn to me. Like that's just how I am. But I'm not doing that to hurt my partner, but I can like this person, I can already see that in the past relationships have been broken up or things have become very sour because their partners just like don't understand. And then this person realized that, okay, that just means that I'm dating the wrong person because they realize like this is who they are. They're not cheating. They're not like doing things that are, not that you're not supposed to be doing in a relationship. They're completely being themselves. They have boundaries, but it's just that they have been with people that don't understand their personality. And they've realized I have to date somebody who understands me and is similar in this sense so that way we can actually be compatible with each other. Okay, wow. So that's like everything I'm seeing so far. I think this person has a pointy nose. They could also have like shorter hair or like a buzz cut. Pointy nose, very clear skin. Again, their skin is just like radiating. Like they could have a very beautiful skin tone, very clear skin. They also have very nice hands, broad shoulders. I feel like this could be a more slender person. They're definitely tall, maybe taller than the average, but they're not like super buff or anything, but they have a nice build. And yeah, pointy nose is definitely coming through because this guy here kind of has a pointy nose, but and with the sun, I mean, the sun is universal. So I feel like for physical appearance, they are universally beautiful. They're universally gorgeous. And it doesn't even matter what their ethnicity is or like where they're from because they just have that type of beauty that no matter like where they are, it's like universal. That's what I'm saying. Like they just have that model image that no matter where they are, they're considered an extremely beautiful person. And again, with the sun, again, talking about this idea of it being universal, the sun could definitely talk about like very ambiguous. Like they look very ethnically ambiguous. You don't know, like right away, you can't figure out what this person is, where they're from, if they're mixed ethnicities. Like you can't like really figure that out until you kind of get to know them a little bit more. And I also will say this person is in a point in their life where they're very sure about who they are. Like we just said, they just said, I realize that I'm dating the wrong person. It's not that I have to change because I know who I am and I'm very confident in who I am. So now I'm confident with the type of person I want to attract. They're very sure of who they are, which is very good. Okay, so let's go in with the deck you chose. Let's go ahead and get one of their strengths for group twos. This person that's coming through here today. They could be from a warmer climate because we have the sun here. We even have a desert in the background here. So a warmer climate, somewhere by the water could be significant. Somewhere with a lot of sun. Maybe they tan well, or maybe they wear a lot of sunscreen. They definitely take care of their skin. That's coming through very strongly. So let's go ahead. And because they've been hurt in the past and they have been misunderstood, they're very selective on who they date. Like they're very protective over their heart because they have been blamed to be the bad guy, or they have been blamed to be the reason something doesn't work out. And they could have blamed themselves for a very long time until they realized, no, I am just dating the wrong people. Like if you're going to judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, like that makes no sense because a fish can't climb a tree, right? So that's this person. They are a fish and they were being judged because they can't climb a tree, or in this sense they're being judged for the things they want to do or the things they can do, and they've realized like, no, like it's this person that's judging me too harshly. So I feel like it's made them very selective, made them very protective over their heart. So even if they come off as like F-boy, F-girl vibes, I think they're very, very selective on who they actually give their heart to. Yeah, they definitely feel misunderstood. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at one of their strengths for group number 2. Let's go ahead and look at this person's strengths. Taking a while. I was just thinking about, they're probably really humble because they are so intelligent. They probably have worked their way up through so many things in life, intellectually, that they're very humble. They don't like to brag, and maybe that's another thing. They don't really bring up a lot of these accomplishments, or they don't bring up a lot of things on an everyday basis because they're just very humble. And so for their strengths, we have the 10 of diamonds, which is the 10 of pentacles. Let's see. I hope everything can fit here. Okay, so then let's go ahead and look at one of their weaknesses. Let's get a weakness for this person. Oh, sorry, that's the weirdest laugh you've ever had to hear from me. The High Priestess, that makes so much sense because we were just saying that they're so logical and they're so realistic that they tend to deny spirituality or tend to deny a higher power, and their weakness is literally intuition. That's so funny. Okay, let's go ahead and get a card for their career. And just the way like this deck, it just blends so beautifully with this deck. I just love the color scheme. Let's go ahead and look at their current career for group 2's next serious relationship. What is this person's current career? So many cards. What is this person's current career? Whoa. 9 of Cups. I wanted to take that because it literally did like a 360 flip. And then let's go ahead and look at their current hobbies and or things they like to do. Current hobbies and or things this person likes to do. They really like to, sorry, why am I like having this weird laugh in this reading? I don't know. Because I just immediately heard with like things they like to do, I immediately heard they like to protect their energy, which again is kind of something we were saying earlier. Like they just don't give in to unnecessary drama, unnecessary conflicts. They take protecting their mental health very seriously, protecting their emotions very seriously. And then bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Crystals. So this is the Ace of Wands. Yes, so I do feel like, and especially with the Two of Crystals here, talking about hobbies and things they like to do, this person definitely likes to get out and about. I feel like, yes, they like their downtime and their alone time, but they're very much like they can't really sit still, and they always have to be doing something. So they always have to be like going to a new restaurant, new coffee shop, going on a hike, going to new tourist spots, like, or traveling, or just something. Like they just have to keep doing something new on a regular basis. They have to keep like trying out new things, exploring new things, new hobbies, new foods, like literally like they just have to keep go. But it's like fun, you know, and that's why they really want a person that's like that. Like they want somebody who also wants to go on adventures, that wants to go check things out, that wants to take day trips or weekend trips, or like they want somebody that's not really like a homebody, because it's coming through as like, yes, they do like their alone time, but they definitely don't want to just be at home all day, or they don't want to just like sit back and not do anything when they have free time. And they definitely keep busy, because with all this fire and the ace and the two of wands here, it's very much like they're passionate about a lot of things and they just want to keep going. They just want to do as much as they can. And yeah, with the Four of Cups and Two of Crystals, this combination, the Two of Wands, this combination made me think, like, whenever stuff comes up in life, they realize, like, I don't have to give in to this. There's other options for me. There's other paths. There's other people. There's other situations. Like, I don't have to give in to the thing that's causing stress, or I don't have to give in to something that I don't want to give into. So this person is very serious on protecting their energy, protecting their mental, emotional health, and they just don't feel the need to like give in to things that, are useless. They definitely understand that there's always two sides to a situation, or like there's always another option. So this person won't get weighed down on something if something doesn't work out, or if something happens, because they're like, well, okay, let me go do something else, like let me try something else, or there's another path for me, there's another option for me. So it's like they always see the brighter side of the situation. They don't get too caught up in like the downside or the stuff that arises in life. They don't get too caught up in it, because they know, like, okay, well, I can just go do something else. For their career, it's not coming through exactly what they're doing, because again, general reading, but I can definitely say that they love what they do, and they've worked pretty much their whole life to get to where they're at. Yeah, so I definitely think it's one of those things where they've probably had to start young, or they started, at a younger age. They have put a lot of time and effort into what it is that they are doing now. But with the Nine of Cups coming out for their career, I think they're very emotionally fulfilled, very emotionally satisfied in their career. And I think that's another reason this person is not like chasing relationships right now, or they're not like dating the wrong people or dating for the wrong reasons, because they're just very happy in life. They have their career made, they have their money, they have their hobbies, they love to travel, they love to go do new things. So for them, it's very much like, if I find my ideal person, then I'm happy to be in a relationship, but I'm not seeking a relationship, I'm not like waiting for a relationship. Yeah, but for career, they're very happy with what they do, and they've worked very hard to get there. And it probably took them a while to get there as well. But they're very satisfied. So it's funny, and I'm going backwards, but it's okay. So for their weaknesses, yes, I feel like I did touch on this. For the High Priestess to come up as a weakness, I do think for them, they are struggling with their intuition, or they're just like struggling. Oh gosh, hold on. They're like struggling with spirituality, but they are spiritual. And I think that's what, there's like this tug of war between them, because with the Sun here, they're a very spiritual, this is literally the source itself, right? So they have that spiritual energy within them, and they can see it, they recognize it from time to time. Stuff happens with their intuition, with signs and synchronicities, but they're just so logical and rational and realistic that they have a hard time pinpointing like what this spirituality is. And I think that could be one of their weaknesses, because it causes them to maybe like not like freak out, but like overthink the situation, or maybe even run away from it because they can't logically explain it, so it is kind of showing up as a weakness for them. Again, they have a very slender build, so tall and slender, or tall and like a nice build, but not like too bulky, is coming through, whether it's like a man or a woman. It's like tall and slender. Images are up here. Okay. Yeah, so their weaknesses, definitely like spirituality stuff. And then for their strengths, it's a 10 of diamonds. Again, one of their strengths is they're very realistic. They're very much like planted on this earth. They're rooted in this earth, and they are very like, this is my surroundings, this is my reality, this is my life. They're very realistic. And maybe that's why they don't get too boggled up in their emotions, or if something doesn't work out, because they're realistic about it and they're just like, well, there's a million other options. There's a million other people. There's a million other whatever to do. So I think one of their strengths is like, yeah, with how realistic they are, they don't get too caught up in emotional things, which helps them prosper in life. Maybe they have to be that way for the career that they do as well. They could also be very good with money, very good with investing, very good with creating generational wealth, because that is all of the 10 of Diamonds energy here. Very good with long-term plans. They're very good with creating their desired reality. And I think that again shows you that this is somebody who's very sure of themselves. They know what they want because they have been and are still creating their desired life, their desired reality. And even with that, that points to they know exactly the type of partner they want. For them, they're kind of already setting up this long-term lifestyle. And for them, they're like, I have like my ideal partner and I really don't want anything else. It almost feels like there's just like an open spot waiting for you because they're kind of already getting a lot of the other things taken care of. So they would already be like financially stable, very stable in their career around the time that you meet them because they're already coming through as that. Okay, that was long, 37 minutes. So now let's get into the deep dive for your relationship. So we will look at your energy versus their energy and also the energy of the connection itself. I'm gonna clear out, I'll be right back. Okay, hey group 2. I have all of your cards from earlier right here. I'm just gonna put them aside, but it'll still be here. That way we can check back on it if we need to. But now we're gonna dive into the you versus them and the connection itself. So for this reading, I do feel like doing it like this is you and this is them, but feel free to take these messages however you want, because if you feel like your energy is on this side and their energy is on this side, that's completely okay. Just for the purposes of this spread, I did shuffle it as this is your energy in this connection and this is their energy in the connection, and this is the overall energy of the connection itself. So yeah, there is so much to go over. They actually got some extra cards, so there's going to be a little bit more on their side. But let's go ahead and look at what is your energy in this connection with this person. Oh, it says it starts from you. Okay. Oh my gosh, 33 with wholeness and black mulberry. That actually is very fitting for the it starts from you energy here. How do I want to lay this out? $33 could be a significant age for somebody, or this could be like March 3rd or the 3rd of a month. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Mood madness with avoid drama. Didn't I say that their energy from their spread earlier was that they really avoid drama? I think I used those exact words. Oh, and the Ace of Fire. This is a repeating card because you got the Ace of, or your person got the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. But we have Ace of Fire with opportunity, creativity, and action. Ooh, okay. I like this. All right, maybe I don't have to move all of this over. Okay. Or maybe I do. Okay, let me move this down here. Let's look at their energy. I support your decision no matter what. That's very cute. Ooh, we have 18 with stimulation and chilly. Again, there's so much like heat on this person's end. Okay, they got 2 cards. So they have the Queen of Wands. And we have the 5 of Wands. And these actually came out together, so I kept them together. Queen of Wands, 5 of Wands. Aw, ring around the moon with protection. And the Three of Water with celebration, community, and friendships. Okay, now I'm running out of space. Now the crazy part is I have 2 more cards to set down. So let's make space in the middle. So now for the overall energy of the connection, the overall connection between the two of you, we have the moon with the number 18 and illusion. Oh, and then we have destiny with the number 10. Very interesting. Where do I want to start? I kind of want to start with this person's energy on this side, because, yeah, let's start here. With the I support your decision no matter what, and even with this protection energy, I feel like your partner, we'll just call them your person, your partner, they are going to really stand up for you no matter what. I feel like this is the type of person to kind of like worship the ground you walk on, and not in a toxic way at all, but in like a way that they really adore you, they really look up to you, they're inspired by you, they see your potential, they see your worth, and they feel very lucky to have you. 444 as I'm saying that. So it's like this person really, really like, you're on a scale of like 10 out of 10 for them. So it's like they will support you no matter what it is that you want to do. And they will protect you no matter what it is. No matter what's going on, they will always be on your side. They will always be on your team. And I feel like that's also part of that like 10 of Pentacles energy that we were speaking of earlier, where we were talking about like this person really plans for the long term, and they think about the more long term in that way, and the way they're planting, you know, their seeds, and they're making all these long-term adjustments and plans. It really feels like they're in it for the long run. So this is not the type of person to just like get into a relationship with you and just like use you as a fling or have it be like temporary satisfaction. Like, this really feels like somebody who is like, I'm gonna stand by your side because I'm choosing to do that, and because I love you and I adore you and I feel like you're the one, and I'm gonna stand by your side to the very end. And I also feel like this is the type of person to where little things like can't really shake them, you know, can't really like mess up how they are thinking, how they're feeling about you or about the connection, because we also said that earlier, that they are very self-secure. And it's like they just know the connection really well. So it's like little things like don't really bother them, you know, or like little things are not going to get them all riled up. Again, it's that same energy of like they really protect their peace and protect their energy. And if it's like something that's silly and like useless and like it doesn't matter, they're not going to let it get out of hand. But this definitely feels like somebody who's going to be there for you in the long run, and will absolutely just be your number one fan with whatever it is you decide to do. With the Queen of Wands here, I feel like this is how they are viewing you. Is they're viewing you as the Queen of Wands, as their Queen of Wands. And we already saw that there is so much fire within their energy. So they really feel like you are very similar to them in that sense, or they feel like your auras are similar, your energies are similar. They feel like you're very, very attractive, very beautiful with this Queen of Wands. They feel like you're very confident and you have a lot of potential. And I almost wanted to say they feel like you are confident even if you don't feel like that sometimes. It's like they really see you at your best all the time, even if you don't see yourself that way. And they just feel incredibly lucky to have found this relationship with you, because we even said that earlier, that they felt like they might not find somebody, or it's like they've been dating the wrong people, so now they're very selective. So to them it almost feels like they weren't sure if they were going to find somebody that's like on the same wavelength until they found you. And even with this Five of Wands, I immediately read this as like they are fighting for you, they're protecting you, they're always sticking up for you. And then we have the word protection here as well. And even with this, it makes me feel like they will do whatever it takes to keep the relationship with you to keep you happy, to keep everything stable. Like they will have, like if they need to fight other people, or if they have to like fight for something, or like it's like they are not afraid to get their hands dirty. And I don't mean like they're physically fighting, it could be, but it's in the sense of like, just like they're not afraid to stand up for themselves, like we talked about earlier, they're not afraid to stand up for you or to defend you if ever needed. I do feel like this is the type of person that would make your life very easy, and they would want to make your life easy. And we said that earlier too with that 10 of Pentacles. I was like, this person kind of already has a lot of things planned out, and you just have to like step into your role in that picture. So it feels like they really want to take care of you, they want to provide for you, they want to protect you, they want to stand up for you. Like they want to do all of that for the long term. Yeah, and they are so physically attracted to you because we have the Queen of Wands, which to me always talks about like that like sex appeal, and we talked about them having that too. So the Queen of Wands is really making me feel like they are so physically attracted to you all the time, no matter what. And then we even have the Chili Peppers with stimulation and the number 18. So again, yeah, I think their energy in this relationship with you, they're always like, they never get tired of you. And I think this is mentally, emotionally, and physically. And I'm also hearing like as you age, they're just going to become like more attracted to you as you get older. Like they're never going to fall out of that attraction from you even as you're aging. And it just really feels like there's always that spark when it comes from them to you. Like they're always feeling that spicy, sexy energy towards you all the time. And to them, like if you were to ever question yourself or be like, I don't feel like I look good today, or maybe like not as confident, they would think you're so crazy, because like to them, they just see you as like the most beautiful person ever. And I love the Three of Water because I feel like this person is not only your partner, but they would also be like your best friend in this relationship. And I love that this is Cancer energy, because Cancer is just so sweet and mature and genuine, and it's a very loving, caring, nurturing energy. And I'm pretty sure the moon is Cancer, so we have Cancer out here multiple times, but it's like it's that nurturing, protective energy, but they're also your best friend, and you can just really talk to them about anything. You guys are you just like go through all these things through life together, and they're always there for you emotionally and mentally. And then they're also, I mean, they're there for you physically, they're there as your partner, but they're also there for you as a best friend. I also feel like they keep the relationship like fun. They could definitely introduce more friends, or you guys could have friends that you have together, or you're like, you're keeping it fun and you're keeping things young. I don't know why it just came through like that, keeping it young. I also feel like their friends would really like you, or there's something here about like a friend circle where everyone would get along really well. But yeah, it's like not only are they feeling all of these other things for you, but they really value your friendship, and they genuinely want to be that to you as long as they can. Aw, this is just so sweet. Even this, ring around the moon with this protection energy, it really feels like they're just always there for you. And you probably feel very safe around them too, which is nice. And I'm definitely not getting any like toxic, obsessive, like toxic masculinity or anything like that. It really feels like they treat you like the princess that you are. Like that's really how that's coming through. And you're going to feel very safe with them. You're going to feel very grounded, very secure with this person. And I think that's also something that surprises you, because when you first meet them, or whenever you had that initial reaction and they weren't who you thought they would be, or they come off as like an F boy, F girl vibes, you're like shocked. You're like, oh my gosh, you're like really shocked that they could have so much depth to them, because it doesn't look like they would on the outside. That's just how that's coming through. One thing I really love about your energy is I really feel like this relationship helps you grow a lot and helps you heal a lot, especially if you have like past trauma or past wounds. I feel like with the way this person is so loving and protecting and just this seems like such a healthy dynamic from this person, and they're mature, and like all these things, right? It's like you are finally experiencing that type of a relationship in your life, and it is healing you. It is like helping you realize, oh my God, like not all relationships are bad, or not all relationships are like what I've known in the past. And I feel like with the it starts from you, and with this wholeness energy, I feel like you are really healing and you're growing as a person within this relationship, which is really, really nice. I also feel like this relationship, it just like gives you the time and space to just like heal, to just live your life, to do what you want to do. Like there's no peer pressure. There's no pressure on either sides. Like this person just loves you for who you are, and you could literally do whatever, you know, that's not like illegal or something, something that's not crazy, but you could pretty much do whatever it is that you want, and they would still love you and they would support you, as long as there's like mutual respect and all of that as well. But it's like this relationship gives you the time and space to just do whatever you want. And I think you maybe haven't had that peace of mind in the past. Again, if you've dealt with toxic relationships or toxic situations, maybe you've had somebody who was like overly protective to the point where it was like unhealthy. Maybe you had somebody that didn't trust you all the time. Maybe you just had like bad scenarios. Maybe somebody was physically abusive or emotionally or mentally abusive. Maybe you just like, it just feels like this relationships gives you the space to just like breathe, and for you to just do whatever you want in the best way possible. Like there's nothing weighing you down. I feel like you're just free as a bird, and maybe in the past you felt weighed down. Like I'm literally feeling like an anchor like pulling me down, feeling weighed down like that. But in this sense, it allows you to realize like, oh my God, like this is good, this is what I deserve, this is a healthy, normal relationship. I feel like this really, even with this Eight of Pentacles, this relationship helps you really work on yourself and work on what you want, because again, we kind of see that this person already has their career or already has stuff going on for them, kind of has their financial freedom, they got things figured out. So it gives you the space, especially if they take care of you, which I think they probably would financially offer to take care of you. It gives you the time and space to really pursue your goals, your dreams, your creative endeavors, or your business ideas, or school, or whatever it is. It's like with this Eight of Pentacles, it really, this relationship allows you to kind of, instead of living like day to day or paycheck to paycheck, it like allows you to just like really focus on the one or the few things that you really want to do, instead of like scattering into a bunch of chaotic situations. That's like how it's coming through. And I love the Ace of Fire, because again, it is almost coming through as like you could be a bit more introverted than this person, or you could be a bit more shy or a bit more reserved compared to their fiery, extroverted, confident, outgoing energy. And again, you could definitely be confident. I don't want to say that you're not, but it just feels like you're a bit more shy, you're a bit more reserved. And with this Ace of Wands here, it makes me feel like this connection finally this connection finally brought some kind of a spark back into your life with that Ace of Wands here. And it's like a little kid. It's almost like this renewal. It's like, oh, wow, okay, like I can do the things that I didn't really get to do in the past, or I can kind of just like start over, and it's like a new experience with a new person, but it's like it feels right. And I think this person would definitely push you out of your comfort zone, and I think that's what you need, because once you're pushed out of your comfort zone, then like you're starting to do things that you would never do, and you're actually having such a good time. So it does feel like you're having some kind of a renewal within your own experiences, or within your own like sparks in your life. So yeah, it's like new experiences, new opportunities. They really push you out of your comfort zone in the best way, because we already said, they already see your full potential, even if you don't, or even if you're questioning yourself. So they definitely try to like push you to your greatness. But yeah, like life could have been a little boring for you before this person came around, or maybe you were just a bit like shy, or had like social anxiety, or maybe you wanted to do certain things but you couldn't, or it's just something like that. And I feel like with this person and this relationship, because you both have a lot of mutual things that you like to do, it like puts you back into that momentum type energy, which is very nice. And I love the avoid drama because we were literally saying that earlier. I think both of you are protecting your peace. It's interesting because this says ring around the moon, and in this image, there is a ring around the moon. They are the ring around your moon. You know, that's so cute. And I feel like both of you are protecting yourself, protecting your space, protecting your mental, physical, emotional health, all of it. Really avoiding drama, really detaching from things that you don't need to be a part of. But yeah, I feel like for you, I feel like most of their energy is about you and like dedicated towards you and focusing on you. And then your energy is absorbing that, and you are becoming a better version of yourself because of that. And I love it. I think this is so amazing. It almost feels like what you have been missing for a very long time in your life, and they're here to pour that into you, which is very, very sweet. I love that we have the moon and destiny. I just realized we have 18 out here twice. So we have 33, 18, 18, 10, 8, 3, 1. Those numbers could be significant in some way. We also have a 5. Yeah, you're gonna feel like this was a destined connection with destiny here. This is the Wheel of Fortune, and this is just by chance, by luck, divine timing, divine orchestration. It really feels like two people that just kind of come together in the craziest of ways. And it's interesting, both of these are major arcana, so it really feels like a very divinely guided connection here. Destiny and the moon with illusion. There's a lot of emotional depth, and I also feel like there is spiritual depth in this connection as well. And maybe both of you, because if you're already spiritual, maybe you're helping them evolve spiritually, or maybe you both become spiritual together. But there seems to be a lot of emotional and spiritual depth with the moon. And there's like, from the moment you meet each other, there's this underlining energy of like, oh my gosh, like we are soulmates, or like we are meant to be. And now it makes sense why that Two of Cups came out the way it did in the very beginning. And everything just feels so divinely protected for this relationship. It really feels like not a lot could go wrong, because you, like, the universe is literally guiding your every step and has brought you together for a reason. I also feel like with the moon here, this is a very safe energy between the two of you, because like, yeah, this connection is very safe, because the moon is making me feel of like, it's making me feel very nurtured, making me feel loved, taken care of. It's a homey vibe, you know. This is making me think of like a happy home life as well. So it feels like a very emotionally stable connection here, feeling loved, feeling nurtured by this person. And I feel like there's this equal give and take, like both people are really there for each other. I also feel like, yeah, like the moon, it really helps both of you, or this, a connection. Oh my god, the energy of the connection is that both of you are healing in your own ways. Both of you are evolving in the ways that you need to be, and a lot of it points back to this connection growing between the two of you. Wow, okay. I think that's everything I see here, which is very nice. Because I love that there's a little bit of passion here, but there's also like this grounded, nurturing energy, and then there's that friendship, and then, you know, it's like it's such a good mix of everything, and I really, really love it. So group number 2, now I'm gonna go into the extended. So we're gonna go ahead and see where are they now in the present moment of me talking about this. We're gonna go ahead and see, are they ready for this connection with you? Or, you know, if not, what's going on with them? We'll also see how will you guys meet. We will get any significant time frames, and we will also get messages from them. 2222 as I'm holding this up. So if that's something you're interested in knowing more information about, the link to Patreon will be in the description below. And like I said, you get access to this extended there's like another one or two extendeds on there, and there are a bunch, 15 plus exclusive pick a card tarot readings that the viewers have suggested. And if you're over there on Patreon, you can suggest next month's videos as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for all of your support. I loved this energy. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in Patreon, or I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose this Knight of Pentacles and the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck with this African Jade, this is your group. Hello, group number 3. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let's set your crystal down somewhere. I'm kind of running out of space. Okay, so let's talk about our reading today. Like I mentioned, this is going to be very in-depth, so I've been mentioning this for the other groups too, but you could probably watch this on like 2 times speed if you want it to go by faster, because there's going to be a lot of information. So we're going to start off with the main traits of your person. We're going to start off with their personality, appearance, any specific astrological placements that want to come up. We'll also talk about their higher self and their 3D self. So this right here will give us like a full overview of who this person is. And then we're gonna go in with their strengths and their weaknesses. We'll talk about their career and hobbies, or just whatever else they like to do in their free time. So that is our first section, and then we're going to go into a deep dive about your actual relationship. So we're going to see what will be your energy in this connection, what is their energy in the connection, and the energy of the connection itself. So this is pretty much a deep dive into what this relationship will be like for the both of you, and what this relationship is like in general. So this is definitely a lot of information that will be coming your way. And then we also have an extended. Our extended is going to be up on Patreon. So if you're already on Patreon, you will have immediate access to the extended. But if you're not, definitely go ahead and check this out. You get access to not only this extended, but we have like 15 plus other exclusive tarot readings on there, and there's 2 exclusive tarot readings every month, and the viewers over there on Patreon get to suggest the monthly reading. So it's personalized. And yeah, so on the extended, we're going to see where are they now. We'll see, are they ready for this connection that we are talking about? We'll see how will you guys meet each other, or the circumstances surrounding that situation. We'll try to get any time frames, and then we'll also get messages from them directly to you. So there is so much to talk about. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm gonna move this over so I have a little bit more space. So I have a deck here, and I split it up into 3 groups. This is the major arcana, this is the minor arcana, and this is the rest of the deck here. So we'll get 1 card from each, and the major arcana is going to talk about their higher self, and then the court card, oh, did I say minor? This is the minor. I'm already messing up what I'm saying. This is the major arcana, this is the court cards, and this is the rest of the deck. So then 1 card from the major arcana is going to show us their higher self. 1 card from the court card group is going to show us their 3D self. And then this will just give us more information about this person. 333 as I'm saying that. All right, so let's get started. Hopefully that wasn't confusing. I definitely kind of messed up on what I was trying to say. But this is the group with all of our major arcana. So let's go ahead and get a card for group 3's future relationship, their next serious relationship. Let's get a card for this person, their person's higher self, for group 3's next serious relationship. 1 card for their higher self. Group 3 that chose the Knight of Pentacles. Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, that's so interesting. Okay. Just got a message, but I will wait until I have the rest of the cards. So now we have the court cards. So let's get a card for group 3's next serious relationship person's 3D self. 1 card for their 3D self. Knight. Oh my gosh! That's the exact same card. Knight of Crystals, Knight of Pentacles. And that is exactly what happened with group 1 as well. Group 1, their intro card that came out for them was the King of Cups, and then their person's 3D self was also the King of Cups. So that's really crazy. Okay. And then let's go ahead and get one card from the rest of the deck here to give us any more information about group three's next serious relationship person. We'll just say your person for group three. Let's get one more card about group three's person here to give us more information on who they are. Okay, you got two coming out at the same time. We have the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Cups. Oh, interesting. And it's interesting because in this Seven of Cups, the image, there's crystals. It looks like there's something valuable in each cup. Whereas traditionally in the Seven of Cups, there, 555 on the timer. Traditionally on the Seven of Cups, there's like 7 cups, but they all have different objects in them. But in this sense, they all have crystals, and it looks like everything is of value. Everything looks good, you know? So that's very interesting. Because I got a very specific message for that too. So let's set these together like this, since 2 cards came out for this. Okay, so I kind of want to start with this, since this is what I was just thinking about. With the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Cups, especially with the way the Seven of Cups, everything looks valuable, it really made me think that this person has many things that they work hard towards, and many things give them rewards in the 3D. So I feel like this is not the type of person to where they would have like one thing, one project, one thing that they work towards, and that's it. This is the type of person to have like many things that they work towards on a regular basis, but they all give them results at the end of the day. So it's not somebody that's like spreading themselves too thin, or like is like constantly gambling and trying new things and having like, you know, some things a hit, some things a miss. It's not really like that. It doesn't feel like gambling. It really feels like this person like knows what they want to do, but there's just multiple things that they put time and effort into consistently, and they work hard towards these things, but they all give them benefits in return. So it actually feels very stable, because I'm thinking of somebody who has like multiple sources of income, you know, because all of these seem like different cups of something of value. So it's like they have 7 streams of income or something crazy, you know, and it doesn't have to be 7, it could be less, it could even be like 2 or 3, but it feels like they put themselves, like they distribute their talents and their skills and their hard work into multiple little things, and each of those things gives them value at the end of the day, to some extent. Some could be more than others, but it does feel like they're not really like putting effort into something that does not give them anything in return. And that seems like a very specific like personality trait of this person, because we see them coming up as the Knight of Pentacles twice, and the Knight of Pentacles energy is somebody that's very hardworking. They're very stable, they're very grounded, they move slowly, they're not impulsive, they plan things out, they focus on the long term because they're trying to get long-term benefits or long-term stability. So yeah, so it really feels like this is definitely like a personality trait, or just something that's like deeply rooted within them. And it's interesting because we have the Nine of Wands here, and the 9 is making me think of the 9th house, which is making me think of Sagittarius energy. And this is going to be a very specific astrological placement, but somebody could have Virgo or an earth sign in their 9th house. That, I know that's very, very specific, but they could have their specifically Virgo was coming through, but they could have an earth sign in their 9th house. This is this is Sagittarius energy with the 9 of Wands. This is Scorpio energy with the 7 of Cups. Knight of Crystals, earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and then the Wheel of Fortune is all the fixed signs. So we have Scorpio out again, and then we have Leo, and then Taurus again for the earth sign, and then we also have Aquarius. You know, now that I'm sitting with this energy, it could be like maybe there's times where some things don't stick for this person, but I think if something wouldn't stick, they would walk away from it pretty quickly. So it does feel like somebody who has many interests, many talents, many skills, like literally like a jack of all trades kind of an energy. So they will kind of try out everything. But if something does not give them any benefits in return, they're going to pretty much walk away from it. Or if it's like, or if it's just like it's not worth it to be putting this time and energy into it, and they just feel like it's not right, then they will eventually walk away from it. I don't feel like this is the type of person that will stick around for something that's not working and constantly give it the benefit of the doubt, because they feel like that's unrealistic. They feel like if something was to work, it would work out relatively quickly, or at least give them, like, at least see some progress quickly. But again, with like the ninth house, and then I'm thinking about Sagittarius and Jupiter, which rules the ninth house, which is all about expansion. So we're constantly like growing, growing, growing. But then an earth sign is like taking it a little bit more seriously. But sometimes, yeah, it almost feels like they just really need a good variety of everything with that Sagittarius energy. They can't really stick to one thing. So definitely getting jack of all trades. They could have multiple jobs, multiple side hustles, multiple hobbies, or 1111 as I'm saying that. They definitely can't just do one thing. Yeah. So they could have heavy Sagittarius placements, actually. That's coming through really strong. And even their interests, like when you're talking to this person, you would be like, oh my God, like you're interested in everything, or how are you so good at everything? They're definitely that type of person. But they would eventually just get bored in life if they're doing the same thing over and over again for a very long time. They have to change it up. They have to switch it up, even like every few months, every year. Like I'm seeing like they have to switch it up relatively quickly, or else they will get bored. They could switch up their style, they could switch up their aesthetic, they could switch up things in their home. Once things are like sitting there for too long, they're like, okay, I need to switch it up a little bit. Very interesting. Yeah, it's funny because like one day they could be starting a new project, the next day they're starting a different project, the day after that they're starting a different project, and sometimes you're just like it's tough to keep up with everything that they're doing. But I do get the sense that they're very responsible and they're very level-headed, so they don't get carried away in fantasies. Like I want to say that I feel that very strongly with so much of this Knight of Pentacles energy is they don't get carried away in fantasy, and even if they try something new, if it doesn't work, they'll leave it, they'll walk away from it, or come back to it later, or something like that. The Knight of Pentacles also, it always makes me think of somebody that has a very good body. I know that's like so random, but again, it's this energy of somebody that puts in consistent work every day for the long term, and that always makes me think of working out, working your body, whether you're like a power lifter, whether you're a bodybuilder, or whatever type of exercising. I just feel like this person has a very nice body, and they're probably like fit, muscular, or whatever it is that you are into, because this could be a guy or a girl, but it just feels like they are very fit, they have a very nice body, and they take care of their body on a regular basis because they think about the long term. They're like, okay, well, if I exercise now and do all of this stuff now, I will have the results I want in a few months or at the end of the year or something like that. So this person definitely takes care of themselves. And again, with earth signs, like I always think about eating healthy. This person doesn't have to be like a strict vegetarian or a vegan. They could be, but I do feel like they eat healthy. They definitely, again, I don't think they're the type of person to like count every single calorie, but I don't think they overindulge on things that are toxic for them. And even that could translate into like drinking alcohol or drugs or substances or things like that. I feel like even if this person would partake in something like that, it would be rare, like maybe even like once a month or once every couple months or something. It definitely feels like they wouldn't be like heavy into alcohol or substances or anything like that. Another thing about the Sagittarius energy with this person is they just know, like, just and it actually kind of ties back to their higher self that we'll talk about in a second, but like deep down they just know that there is such a huge world out there. There are so many people, so many cultures, so many new experiences, so many things that are not in their immediate environment, and this person has a world view. So it doesn't have to be that they are of like a different culture than you or a different background or anything like that, but I feel like they see the world as what it is that there's a bunch of different things and people and experiences out there. This person probably loves to travel. They probably love higher education. It's like they have to be constantly evolving, and they just can't really be in the same position in life or in the same place, the same energy for a very long time. Like they have to keep expanding in that way. But yeah, I'm getting like everything to do with universal things. So traveling, new foods, new experiences, all of that. I feel like this is also the type of person, because of how practical they are, they probably wouldn't want to spend a lot of money on like a physical item, but they would take that same money and spend it on a trip abroad or something like that. Like to them it makes more sense to pay for experiences versus paying for something that would just sit around and collect dust. That's like how that's coming through. I also think when it comes to just their life and with how structured they are, with how they, with just like how they are and how they think, it really feels like they don't really date around just for fun. And if they were to get into a relationship, it's for the long term. It's because they want a partner for the long term. And this person definitely knows the type of partner that they want really well. So I feel like even if they were to like have, like some casual relationships here and there, I think this person knows very well like what is partner material for them, what they want long term. They definitely know that. Yeah. And I also think that if this person really likes you, then they are like falling head over heels and they want a commitment. I don't think that they would beat around the bush. I feel like they would be very straightforward. They wouldn't play hard to get. They wouldn't play games with you. They're not stringing you along. This person probably doesn't even talk or text if they don't want to. It's kind of like they don't really like give in if they don't want to, if they don't like you, if they don't want to be a part of the situation. They're not just going to like put their energy out there for no reason. Because some people will just text a bunch of people and go on a bunch of dates and like do all these things for no reason, but it's like this person really wouldn't do that. So if they're talking to you, they're giving you their time, they're putting effort into their relationship with you or the connection with you, it's like it's because they actually mean it and they actually like you enough to do all of these things. Again, they're very level-headed, they're not impulsive, they don't react like in crazy ways. They're very, very level-headed. They probably have a good balance between their emotions and their emotions and like their mind, like mind and heart. They have a good balance of everything going on. And again, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving slowest moving knight. So for this to come out twice, it really feels like they would take their time really getting to know you. And yeah, they would want to like really get to know you before committing to something. But it's like even if they talk to you for even a couple weeks in a row, it's like you already know they like you. But I think they would still take some time before they want to make anything official, because they would just want to be sure. I also feel like this is a very ignore the garage. I also feel like this is a very soft-spoken individual. They're not like the loudest person in the room. They're not about to be like center of attention. I do think this person has friends, and they're almost coming in like kind of dorky, and I definitely don't mean that in like a rude way or stereotypical way, but they're coming through kind of dorky. They have like a good small friend group, and they're not really center of attention. They could even be wearing glasses, or they're kind of reserved. They keep to themselves. They could read a lot. They could exercise their mind a lot. I'm even seeing like Dungeons and Dragons and like activities with friends like that. They're just kind of coming through as, yeah, I know the word dorky is like has a weird negative connotation to it, but they're kind of coming through as like that kind of an energy. And I feel like you would think that's really cute. Like, I can already feel like some of you are like, oh, that's so cute, because maybe that's the type of person that you're into, you know? But yeah, they are not super center of attention. They kind of like to just hang out in the background, and they like to do their own thing. They don't really like to persuade people. Like, you know, like they're just like doing their own thing. They're just existing, and they don't really care much for what others could think of them or anything like that. And it's so interesting. The very first message I got with this Wheel of Fortune for their higher self. Oh, yeah, so everything we're talking about up until now is pretty much like their 3D self. They could also wear a lot of black, because there's a lot of black going on here. There's a lot of like darker attire here as well. Um, or it's like they have really good style and they look good, but they don't wear super vibrant colors, or their style doesn't like stick out in the crowd. And I think that's also just a part of their personality. I think this person is very attractive. You know, I'm seeing like dark hair, like I said, very nice body, muscles, or very toned, like very fit. Um, but good style, but they don't really want to stick out, or, you know. Yeah, so with the Wheel of Fortune coming through as their higher self, the first thing I heard when I saw this card is like they have lived many lifetimes. And I think that also ties back to what I was saying about this universal view that they have of the world and of life and of experiences. Excuse me. It's like they have that because they've lived so many lives. They have lived many different cultures, probably even on different planets and different universes. It's like their energy is so diverse that in their 3D body, it doesn't feel right for them to be stuck to one identity, or to be stuck to one culture, or to be stuck to one way of living, or to one career, or to one hobby, to one talent. It's like their higher self is so diverse, has lived so many lives, has experienced so many things, that like I can definitely see where they would get frustrated, and that conflict within their like higher self and their intuition and what their soul is craving, versus where they are in the real world, or what they're doing in the real world, or maybe even limitations on their own life, because it's like they want so much more diversity than what they have or what they could afford right now. You know, that's kind of how it's coming through. Like they would want to travel more than they can afford. They would want to do all these things, and maybe they just can't do that. So it's like a little frustrating for them. But yeah, with the Wheel of Fortune, because the Wheel of Fortune, it's destiny, and it's very much like luck. Like it's just happening. I also kind of see the Wheel of Fortune sometimes as just like something that just spins. You know that thing where you spin it and there's like that arrow at the top, and it randomly just falls on something, and you don't know what it's going to be, and you can't predict it, but that's like, it's like, okay, there you go, that's what you get. That's like what I saw with this Wheel of Fortune. It's like before they reincarnated, and maybe for every life that this soul has lived, the universe just like spins this wheel for them, and it's like always the most randomest things. Or it's like, because I saw this image of this girl, and it made me think of somebody that just like plopped, like their higher self just plopped down onto this earth, and they're like, okay, this is new, this is different, I haven't been here before, or it's been a while since I've been back, and they're like, okay, let me get accustomed to it, let me get comfortable with it. So it just feels like the universe kind of just plopped them down here for this lifetime, and they're just going with the flow. And it's kind of like that for all of their lifetimes. It's like random, and there's no pattern. There's like nothing that they could like predict what's happening next, which is so funny. I've never thought about a higher self like that, but that's how that's coming through with the Wheel of Fortune. But they always make the best of every scenario, you know? And yeah. So yeah, their higher self has lived a very long time, many, many years, many different spheres, many different, I don't even know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Many different everywhere, just all over. It doesn't have to be on Earth itself, or even in our own galaxy. And I do feel like this person has like visions or glimpses or dreams about things from their past lives, which maybe they chalk it up to nothing. Maybe they're trying to figure out what all of this is. Maybe sometimes they can relate to things that they are hearing, seeing, or dreaming about. But I do think like their higher self is very active, and all of their higher selves are active. I'm literally thinking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, where, you know, before Avatar Korra and there was Avatar Aang, so then Avatar Aang had access to all of his past avatars. That's literally like what I'm seeing this as. Their higher self has that many past lives, and then in this person's current 3D, all of these past lives pop in from time to time to say, hey, what's up? Okay, I think that's everything I am seeing so far. So let's go ahead and just get into the questions now of what we are going to be asking. I think I shall move everything up. Okay, so, oh yes, yeah, zodiac signs, I think we already talked about that. The 9th house was coming through very strongly for me. Also their north node, somebody, like this person could have their north node in the 9th house, or they could have their north node, this is even more like so specific, but north node in like in an earth sign, somewhere in like the 8th, 9th, probably the 9th, maybe the 9th or 10th house. I don't know about the 8th, but north node in an earth sign is coming through very strongly. Okay. So now let's ask the questions here. So first, let's go ahead and look at what are their strengths. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this person's strengths. So for group 3's person, what are their strengths? 5 of Cups. What are their weaknesses? The Magician. Let's clarify. I also think it might have come out in the reverse. Okay, let's go ahead and see what is their current career. Oh my gosh. Group 3's person, what is their current career? And then let's look at what are their current hobbies or anything they like to do for fun. Oh, 8 of Pentacles, okay. Let's go ahead and see what are their hobbies or anything they like to do for fun. Oh my. They really like their alone time. That's coming through very strongly with this King of Cups as hobbies or what something else they like to do for fun or just how they spend their time. Because I always feel like the King of Cups is very reserved and likes to just like relax or kind of just chill out, but really likes to spend time on their own doing independent activities such as reading, writing, you know, watching TV, like whatever it could be. I really feel like they just really love their alone time. I think this person could definitely be, you know, talkative and friendly and outgoing, but I do think they prioritize their alone time. They prioritize the emotional fulfillment that comes from alone time, and that's something not everyone can understand, because I know like some people hate being alone, they hate spending time alone, but for people that do enjoy spending time on their own and having that moment of solitude, it's very fulfilling. It's a way to just like breathe and to wind down and to just relax and just do whatever it is you want to do. And I think they find a lot of emotional fulfillment in their alone time and in their solitude. I also feel like this person reflects a lot in their alone time as well. But yeah, even like self-care, again, you know, skincare, massages, things like that. Like self-care to the body definitely feels important to this person as well. But I'm getting like a very warm, cozy, dark room, fuzzy blanket, comfy PJs. Like I'm getting like a very dark and cozy vibe. And I feel like that's just how they like to spend their free time, or, you know, have some alone time for themselves like that. Okay. And I do feel like one of their ideal traits in a partner is somebody else that also enjoys alone time, because they would love to have somebody else with them in their alone time. But again, you have to be a type of person to appreciate and to even understand why a person likes their solitude, or why a person would maybe just want to hang out and read at home versus like going out. You know, not everyone gets that. So I think for them, their ideal partner would be somebody who understands alone time and who also likes to have their own alone time as well. Yeah, they definitely need space. I feel like in a relationship, this person wouldn't be super clingy, and they would definitely need to have their own space from time to time. And again, it's not a bad thing. And it's one of those things, like if you get it, you get it. Like if you don't get it, you would probably think that's a red flag, or you would think like, oh, this person doesn't like me enough. And they would be like, well, you just don't get it, you know? Because if you get it, then you understand why people need alone time or people need space, and it doesn't mean that they don't like you. So for their strengths, we have the Five of Cups here. I feel like this person is very good at like oh my god, I can't say the word. Okay, I can't say the word I'm thinking of. They're very good at like separating emotions. And like if something sad happens, or you know, if something happens and they're, you know, yeah, they're sad, they're down. The Five of Cups is kind of a down energy, you know. It's like you're disappointed, something just didn't go the way you wanted it to go. Whenever there's moments like that, they're able to see the brighter side of the picture, or they're able to realize like, okay, you know, I'll accept that I'm sad about this, or I'll accept that I feel defeated about something. I'll accept this didn't work, but I'm not going to sit here and dwell on it all day long. You know, I feel like this is the type of person where they look at the brighter side of the situation, and they're able to like kind of there's this word I'm trying to say and I can't freaking get it out. It's okay. It's like they're just very good at regulating their emotions, and they're very good at understanding when not to put too much energy into something, or when something is, you know, it's something didn't work out, but that's okay. I will redirect my energy somewhere else. And I also feel like one of their strengths, and it's interesting because we also have the King of Cups here, is that they're very in tune with their emotions. They're very emotionally intelligent. And I think that's another way they're able to distinguish their own emotions and their own feelings, and you know what's really going on. And earlier we said they have a good balance of their head and their heart, so it makes sense that they're very emotionally intelligent. And they definitely feel things, you know, like sometimes people don't really feel things or feel their emotions or understand their emotions, but this person definitely does. But they're quick to like not move on, but they're quick to like snap out of it. They're quick to realize, okay, this is not the end of the world. This is just spilled milk, and I will be able to move on from it. But I do think this person accepts their emotions. They accept their emotions. They understand what they are feeling, and they can regulate their emotions very well. I also feel like one of their strengths is that whenever they're upset or even angry, they don't lash out. Like they're able to really go within and like kind of shut down, or kind of go do their own thing for a while. Like they would probably never yell. They probably don't get violent. I feel like whenever this person is upset or sad, they're able to kind of like go within to reflect on why they feel that way, and then move on from that situation. I don't think this person would ever have like angry outbursts. I don't think they're impulsive like that. Oh, but they feel heavy. I think that's coming through very strongly. They feel emotions very deeply. I'm kind of confused about the Magician and the Ace of Cups being a weakness. I might honestly have to get another card to clarify this, because what does this even mean? Let's see. Can we clarify the Magician and the Ace of Cups as a weakness? Okay, Three of Wands. Magician, Three of Wands, Ace of Cups. They're quick to move on? When something doesn't work out, they're quick to move on from it instead of putting more time and effort into it. Is that what you're trying to say? If we're looking at just these two, the Magicians and the Three of Wands, if this is coming out as a weakness with just these two cards, I could say that they're quick to do new things, they're quick to move on to the next thing. And we kind of talked about that earlier, how they kind of have to keep doing many different things, and if something doesn't work out, they're quick to go to the next thing. But I almost feel like maybe they don't give enough time in some way to something, like they're just too quick. Something about this person, in a way, they need to slow down when it comes to maybe their ideas, or they need to slow down when it comes to what they are physically doing or physical projects that they're working on. They're very like 0 to 100 really, really fast. And if it doesn't work, then they're kind of quick to walk away from that. I don't know. That's so interesting. Even though they are very emotionally intelligent, they understand and regulate emotions well, and they don't stick around for something too long if something is disappointing or doesn't work out for them. So that is a strength that we see here. But then for a weakness, because this is Aries energy, and Aries is all about me, and I'm about to go do whatever is next, my next chapter, the next milestone with the Three of Wands. It's like, I'm ready to go. Like, I literally have my back turned to you because I'm ready to go. And then the Magician is also about having personal power. Oh, I just realized that this person is also wearing a red cloak. I almost wonder if this is saying that they don't give themselves enough credit for what they are accomplishing. Like, it's almost like maybe from time to time they feel like they need to outdo themselves. They need to immediately go into the next thing. They need to go bigger, better. Like, they just have to keep outdoing their last success. And it almost feels like a weakness could be that they don't give themselves enough credit when they deserve it. Or it's like they don't bask in the happiness that something gives because they're already like almost immediately onto something else. There's something about like, this is too fast. Like, a weakness, this is coming through as a weakness because something about this person, they move through something too quickly and they don't give themselves enough credit, and they're trying to like outdo themselves every time, instead of like basking in the moment or basking in the success or basking in like taking it in. That's so interesting. It's also so random, and it's kind of hard to read. For the, we'll also like kind of come back to this energy too, because we have a whole other section to go through. But now for their career, they're very successful. And I think we've kind of already seen that this person could definitely have some kind of a reputation. Maybe they are known for something that they do. So this could be online, this could be in real life. They're very good at what they do, and they have a reputation, and they work very hard. For some of you, they could physically make things with their hands. And I also feel like this person has a lot of side hobbies. And one thing that's coming through that's so random is like photography, like wedding photography, or celebration photography, or something like that, or like creating things for people's parties, event planning. There's like something, it's like they have their main things, right? Their main career, but then they do things on the side that kind of revolves around like gigs that they would book on the side. So like DJing, photography, art, interior design, I don't even know. But I do think they're very successful in what they do. They have a reputation. People know about them for sure in that field. And yeah, again, that very hardworking energy that we have been seeing with this person. Okay, I think that's everything I see. This was a little confusing. I think maybe our next section will touch on this a little bit more, and hopefully that'll make more sense. Or maybe it does already kind of make some sense to you, and this is your reading at the end of the day, so it doesn't really have to make sense to me. So now we're going to go into the second part of our reading where we look at your energy in the relationship, their energy in the relationship, and then the energy of the actual connection itself as well. So let me go ahead and get all of that ready. Okay, so we have a whole new spread going here. So I have everything from our previous section right here if we need to look back. I'm going to move it aside though because I'm running out of space. But now we have, this is your energy in this relationship, this is their energy in the relationship, and then this is the energy of the relationship itself, and also just kind of like what is the purpose of this relationship and all of that. I did, when I shuffled the cards, I did place the intentions that this is you and this is them, but you know, it is your reading, so if you feel like the energies are flipped, or if you're on this side and they're kind of on this side, that's totally okay. But just with the way that I shuffled, I am going to just read it and interpret it as if this is you and this is them. So let's go ahead and get started. We got a lot of cards. So this is going to be your energy in this connection with this person. I feel the same. Oh my God, I thought that was an L. I thought that said L-A-M-L. I'm like, what? I feel the same. Okay, so feelings are mutual here. Oh, gratitude with a pink rose and the number 36, 111, as I'm holding that up. Ace of Swords. Oh, I love it. Dark moon with the past. Oh my gosh, and then we have the Magician. We literally just saw the Magician earlier too, and then we have an ace and we have another ace. And we have a 9 here, which is very close to a new beginning, because 9 is almost 10, and 10 would be the end of a cycle. Okay, interesting. So now let's go ahead and look at what is their energy in this connection. Let me move this for now. Oh my gosh, I do! Wow. I do. They're already saying I do. So yes, I would say the feelings are definitely mutual between the two of you. Grounding with potato and the number 5. Ooh, and we have tarot cards on this image. And then there's Virgo. Oh my gosh, no way. Earlier I was saying somebody could have their North Node in Virgo or have Virgo in their 9th house. That is so specific. Or yeah, so Virgo could be significant for some of you. We have the number 5 here. 5 could be significant. 36 could be significant. We have the 10 of Swords. Wow, the ending and then the beginning. Oh, intuition. You both have very similar energies here with the past and intuition. Oh, and then we have the Queen of Water with loving, giving, and psychic. And we literally were talking about the tarot cards right there. They could be a very intuitive person because they have intuition pretty much out here twice. I definitely feel like with this, with this energy here, the Queen of Water, I feel like this person in this connection with you, they're really going to listen to you. And it's interesting because they also got the King of Cups too. So we can definitely say that they are very emotionally intelligent and they really care about your emotions as well. They really care about what you're going through, what you're feeling. You know, they really want to have meaningful, deep conversations with you. I think that's one thing you both are going to have is like very meaningful conversations. I feel like you both don't really have surface level conversations really. It's very deep. You're talking about like heavy things and deep things, you know? So I feel like they'll always be there to listen to you, to guide you, to provide love and this nurturing energy towards you. I will say it feels like their love is very genuine towards you. Their emotions are very genuine. I don't think this person is like hiding anything or lying about it. They seem very genuine. Wow, and you both have G words. Yeah, gratitude and this person's energy is coming through as grounding. So G could be significant in some way. You could be very intuitive as well, and I feel like this connection with the both of you is going to like amplify both of your intuitive senses, amplify both of your psychic energies. You feel very lucky. With gratitude, I feel the same. And even with the past here, the dark moon, I feel you feel very, very lucky that this person found you, or you found them, or that you have this relationship with them. Because it feels like the love that you receive from this person is really amazing. And just the energy that they have and just this connection seems so amazing and like so fairy tale-esque that you are going to feel very lucky, very happy to have met them, especially if you haven't had good relationships in the past. Because with this past and dark moon, it does feel like you are really healing a lot of wounds or traumas from past relationships, and you're realizing that not all relationships are like those in the past, you know? Like it's helping you to heal but also like close this chapter on whatever you have gone through in the past, and it's making you realize like, oh my gosh, like I have it really good now. And especially with all these ones that are surrounding the past, it feels like this energy gives you the time and space to heal, to reflect, but to also close the chapter on your previous connections or your previous situations, to really start a new life, start a new chapter. And with the Ace of Swords here and even the Magician, I feel like this new beginning like really changes the way that you view life, changes the way that you think, it changes the way that you view relationships. Like you're almost emerging out of this as a completely new person with a completely new mindset about everything. And I also feel like you're gonna realize that because you could have been in a dark place, or because you had unresolved trauma, or just whatever it is from the past that you were still holding on to, you're gonna realize like that affected the way that you view the world. And maybe in the moment you didn't think about it, you didn't realize it, but it's like we don't realize that when we are harboring whatever it is, you know, emotions, trauma, memories, energies, stuff, like whatever it is, you know, whenever we are like keeping on to and holding on to these things, that really affects the way that we view the world. That can affect if we're going to be pessimistic about how we view the world, if we're going to be optimistic about viewing the world. And you're going to realize that once you have actually healed from certain things in your past and like officially closed the chapter to that, you're going to be like, oh my God, like I've never seen the world like this. You know, you're kind of taking off like those dark glasses, and you're realizing like, oh wow, like this is actually so much better than I was envisioning it, or this is not what I thought it would be. And I think it's because there's something from your past that is really affecting your current perspective. But that, I think that will change because of this connection. And this connection will help you realize that like not everything is like what you have dealt with in the past. And because of that, you're really emerging as a new you with a whole new perspective, a whole new mindset. This words here, it says manifestation, empowerment, and preparedness. And even this red cloak of self power, you know, personal power. We talked about that in that previous spread because we saw the Magician earlier as well. So I feel like this person, their energy, their love, their nurturing side towards you, it really makes you realize I am good, I am capable, I am, you know, I have so much potential. And it makes you like really see the world in a different way, and it makes you pursue things in a different way, gives you a new sense of personal power that you never had before, and things are just like clicking for you. So for some of you, there could definitely be like a specific connection from your past you're still holding on to, or something that you haven't fully healed from that is really affecting the way that you view the world. It's like it's putting these lenses over your eyes, and it's like altering your vision. And until that gets taken care of, you're not going to get the clarity that you deserve, especially in your love life, but also the way you view yourself. Because I feel like for some of you, you could, you know, be down on yourself, you could belittle yourself, you could view yourself a certain way because of what the past has taught you. And this relationship is going to show you, like, nah, I'm not going to view myself like that anymore. I'm not going to keep these foggy glasses on anymore. Like, you're going to get the clarity that you deserve. And that's why you have so much gratitude. This person kind of looks Korean. Because I was just thinking about this Korean TV show I started watching on Netflix. And so then I'm kind of getting into like K-drama stuff, which is so random, but I don't know. Immediately when I saw these roses, I just thought of like a romance, like a K-drama romance. So that could be significant for some of you, but definitely doesn't have to be. But yeah, I think you're going to be very thankful. You're going to have a lot of gratitude towards this person. And because this relationship has caused you to like realize so many things, I think you're going to like really love this person and show them that you love them, show them that you feel the same, and you're going to nurture them back, you're going to love them back, you're going to put effort back into the connection. And that's what I love here. I feel like both of you are really grounding each other, nurturing each other, you're pouring into each other's cups, really helping each other out. This feels like a very transformative relationship for both of you. Yeah, and what's interesting is also somebody could have a garden, or somebody could like to plant things or like grow veggies or something. Um, but what I was gonna say is they are also ending something. So it seems like both of you have very similar energies of what you're getting out of this connection. You're kind of getting the same thing, and kind of everything I've just said. Because with the Ten of Swords, this is the very end of the cycle. This is them realizing something is just not working for them, or like a certain way of living, a certain way of thinking, a certain way of something is just not doing it for them, and it's actually causing them to self-sabotage in some way. And I think they are also realizing certain things that they have to change in their life in order for them to live their best life. So I love that you have aces here, they have a 10, so it's really showing me that you're both starting a new chapter together, but you're both helping each other end the previous chapters of your life in order to start this new beginning together. There is Gemini energy on this, and actually the Magician is Mercury energy, and the Ace of Swords is Gemini. And then even this kind of looks like a therapist, and I was saying like this person really wants to listen to what you have to say. You guys are going to have deep conversations. And even with the Ten of Swords, we could even view this as like overthinking. There's a lot going on in our brain, in our mind. So I feel like communication is huge between the two of you. I mean, I'm not even just saying like regular chit chat and surface level stuff, like deep conversations. You're going to have a very good intellectual compatibility with this person, and you're going to talk about everything. And I think that's how you heal each other. You heal yourself and you heal each other through your words, through your communications to each other. Like there's just so much communication energy that it's just like overwhelming almost. Some of you could be a therapist, or maybe you go to therapy together, or you could even inspire the other to go to therapy or to start therapy. But I do feel like for some of you, therapy could play a role in your healing, and maybe you like help each other go. Yeah. And it's interesting how both of your cards have this black with this moon, and it's kind of, you know, not all the cards look like this. So even for this person, it feels like they're going through a massive transformation, which is helping them connect to their intuition a little bit better, helping them connect to their higher self a little bit better. Yeah, and I also feel like this grounding energy is very mutual for the both of you. Okay, so mutual energy slash the overall energy of the connection itself. Oh my gosh, we have the High Priestess with the number 2 and intuition. So that's like really similar because we literally have intuition out twice. And even these images are so similar. Wow. Both of these images have a person closing their eyes and you see their face and they have something on their forehead. Yeah, this was definitely a oh my gosh, and then you have new beginning. Oh, that's crazy. I was about to say this is definitely a divinely guided connection between the two of you. And I think both of you are really meant to like help each other move into this next chapter in life, but also like heal from certain things and yeah, like really like become your best selves with each other. And I love the new beginning here because we were just saying there's a new beginning here, there's a new beginning here, here, literally everywhere. And then we literally have the card that says new beginning. This is the Fool. And it's so interesting because she's standing on the world, and then with intuition and all this intuition energy, it feels like your intuition could be guiding you somewhere in the world and you guys meet each other like that. I mean, you could even be traveling with the way this person is standing on the world, or you could be like starting something new, but I do feel like there's divine timing and divine intervention going on. So I do think it's important you listen to your intuition when it comes to this connection. Wow, okay, group number 3. So that's everything here. Now we're going to go into the extended and we're going to go ahead and see where are they now in the present moment. Are they ready for this connection with you? How will you meet them? Any time frames that are important and messages from them as well. And keep in mind, like I said, this is on Patreon, so you'll get access to this extended along with all of our exclusive monthly readings that we have up there. And every month the viewers get to suggest their reading, so it's very personalized over there on Patreon. If you're interested, the link is in the description below. If not, that is totally okay, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you for all of your support. Please like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye! Hey guys, if you chose this 8 of Wands with the Landscapes Tarot deck and this blue obsidian crystal, this is your group. Hello, group number 4. So let me move your crystal here. Let's talk about our reading today. This is all about your next serious relationship, and there is so much to go over. We're going to start off with the main traits of your person that is coming through today. We're going to be looking at everything, their personality, their appearance, any astrological placements that seem important. We'll also look at their higher self and their 3D self. We'll look at their strengths and weaknesses. We'll look at their career and hobbies and like anything else they like to do for fun that might come up. And then we're going to go ahead into your relationship. We're going to be looking at what is your energy in this connection, their energy in the connection, and the energy of the connection itself. So I'll talk a little bit more about this once we get there. And then we do have our extended today, which will be on Patreon. So if you're already on Patreon, then you will already have access to this extended. And then if you're not on Patreon, that's okay. You can join, you'll get access to this extended along with all of our exclusive readings that we have there, and the viewers actually get to suggest the monthly readings on Patreon, so it's a bit more personalized than it is here on YouTube. So on our extended, we're going to be looking at where are they now? Are they ready to meet you? Or are they ready for this connection? And then we'll see how will you guys meet each other. We'll get any circumstances surrounding that. We'll see what are the time frames, and then we'll also get messages directly from them. So any channeled messages that want to come through, we will get that as well. So I'm gonna move this. We're gonna need a lot of space here. Actually, I do want to start off with this 8 of Wands. It just feels so fun and exciting and lively and like spontaneous, and it's fireworks, you know. This could be how you guys feel about each other, is like you're constantly having fireworks, you know, like the chemistry is really good and you're always just having these sparks with each other, or it's like that spark is always there within this connection. Yeah, or it's like you guys have a really fun, adventurous connection where you're doing a lot of activities or just having a really good time with each other. It also feels like you just never get bored of each other either. Like there's just so much going on. That spark is always there and you're just like never bored, never tired with each other. And like a rainbow could be significant too, because this definitely makes me think of a rainbow with the colors here. So as you can see, I have this deck split up. We have 3 groups. So here, this is all of the major arcana. This is all of the court cards. And then this is the rest of the deck in this pile here. So we're going to be pulling 1 card from each pile, and then that's going to give us like this 360 overall view of this person that's coming through for you today. And then the major arcana is going to show us their higher self, and the court card is going to show us their 3D self, and then this will just also give us a little bit more about them. And this Eight of Wands that you guys chose is Sagittarius energy, so automatically, like, that could be something that's significant. Sagittarius season or Sagittarius placements could be significant. So for group four's next serious relationship person, can we get one card for their higher self? Group four's next serious relationship. I also feel like this person could be very adaptable because there's this chameleon in the corner of this card here, and chameleons, they blend in to their surroundings. So this person could easily adapt to different cultures or different situations. They can blend in easily if they want to. Oh my gosh. And then we have the Empress. I love it. Okay, so the Empress is coming through for their higher self. This could be like masculine or feminine. It really, like, you could be, this could be a man or a woman. It doesn't really matter what the genders are right now, but the Empress is just coming through as their higher self, but this could truly be anybody. Let's get one card for their 3D self. For group four's person, one card for their 3D self. You know what's so interesting? Fell down. Page of Cups. What's so interesting is I actually saw mushrooms today. And normally, you know, that, like, it would be like, okay, whatever, you saw mushrooms, but there's mushrooms at the bottom of this card here, and now it got me thinking about the mushrooms that I saw earlier. So mushrooms could be significant, or mushrooms, whether it's like the physical thing, whether it's a cartoon, the image, the word, I don't know, but that could be a sign. Like, mushrooms could be a sign about this connection here for group four. Maybe when you start to see mushrooms around, this person could be getting close to you. The connection could be nearing. So let's go ahead and get one more card here for group four's person. One more card to describe group four's person. Two of Cups. Oh my God, the rainbow. Okay, a rainbow could be significant. I was actually about to say that for this too, because it almost seems like there could be kind of a rainbow vibe going on here, and I totally was feeling the rainbow for the Eight of Wands here, and then we see literally a rainbow connecting two cups. You could be on the other end of this rainbow that they are, like, trying to find. So rainbows or mushrooms could be significant. If you start to see rainbows, and maybe even real rainbows, you know, if you start to see like real rainbows around, that could be a sign from the universe that this connection is about to come into your life. Very interesting. This is specifically Venus in Cancer for the Two of Cups. And then the Page of Cups is water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So we have Cancer out twice. We have a lot of water energy going on. The Empress is Venus. Oh my God. Because this is Venus in Cancer. So Venus could be significant. And Venus is all about love. And we're talking about a relationship here. So this could definitely, it already feels like a fated event. But the Empress is Venus energy, which is Libra and Taurus. Taurus and Libra? Yeah. So now, okay, where do I want to start? I kind of want to start with the Page of Cups as their 3D self. Now, I want to see just like physical attributes about this person. So I feel like they could be very slender. I also feel like this could be a petite individual. And, you know, normally I'm pretty sure for like almost all of the readings, I am feeling like heavy feminine energy for this group. But for most of the readings, it was like 50-50. It could literally go either way, but I almost feel like this is a very feminine energy coming through. But it doesn't have to be a feminine person. They could just be very in tune with their femininity or with their emotions, very in tune with all of that. So maybe that's why that's what we're seeing, but that this could still easily be a masculine individual or somebody that identifies as that. But I do feel like they're definitely slender. And they might be a bit on the petite side or the shorter side. But this person looks tall. Maybe it's like 50-50. They could be petite, they could be tall. I know that's like not helpful. But I do feel like they're slender. Or they're very fit, they're very toned. I feel like this person probably has very nice lips, very beautiful eyes, like big eyes that kind of like pierce your soul when you look into them. I also feel like this person could have a very specific like look that they could give you, and it just like makes your heart melt. Like when they're looking at you like that and you're just like, "Oh my God, I can't move." With the Empress here coming through as the divine feminine, and this is also their higher self, I definitely feel like this is a very evolved soul. This is a very evolved higher self. And this is something that even transcends into their aura, like here on earth. Because for some people, I feel like when you're coming through as like the divine masculine or the divine feminine for your higher self, it's like you can sense that here in our 3D selves. Like some people just have a certain aura to them, or they just have a certain vibe, and they're very comforting, it's nurturing. You know, it's like this, you're very gravitated towards this person's energy. And I think this person just has this energy that everybody is very, very attracted to. This person is very psychic. They're very psychic, they're very intuitive, to the point where people could even be skeptical about them, but I don't think they really care. I think this person might be very open with their psychic abilities or very open with spirituality, especially coming through as the Empress. So they speak about it. They speak about astrology. They speak about signs and synchronicities in the universe, and they speak openly about all these things, but I don't think they care if people think they're crazy or if people like don't believe them. It's interesting because for their higher self, we have the Empress. And then for their 3D self, we have a page, which is a baby. The page is the youngest of the court cards. It's just a little child. But then the Empress is the most evolved divine feminine you could be. Like she's sitting at the top, and this is like step 1. So it's interesting to see the contrast between the two, because I feel like their human self, their 3D self is just getting started, is just getting acquainted to how powerful their higher self really is. It's like they're just getting their toes wet. They're just realizing certain things. They're just tapping into their intuition. Like they know they're very special. They know that their higher self is very special, very powerful, very unique. But it's like as a little child or a little baby here in the 3D, they're just figuring it out. And their higher self is like, you have no idea. You know what I mean? Like in the 3D, even the littlest of things could shock them or surprise them about themselves, but then their higher self is like, yeah, you have no idea just how powerful we are, just how large our energy is, just how evolved we are. But I do think in the 3D, they are tapping into their higher self, and they do on like a regular basis. In this sense, especially because this kind of looks like an older, more confident woman, and this looks like, or just person, and this looks like a younger version of the same person, it really feels like their higher self is guiding them in the 3D. I think they know it though. Like it's like they have these inklings. They're like, I know something is guiding me, something is protecting me, something is looking out for me. And doesn't this just look like an evolution? Like you're starting off young and you're ending up as the divine feminine. This person is very in tune with their emotions, and I think that they seek emotional compatibility, they seek emotional connections here on earth. I was about to say something and now I totally forgot what I was about to say. I think this person is definitely a hopeless romantic, especially with all this water coming up and all this love energy that we're seeing with Venus here. They are definitely like dreaming, daydreaming, wishing, fantasizing, manifesting, all of the above with regards to their soulmate, or like this person, you actually, because we're reading about who they are. 1111, as I'm saying that, it's like they're dreaming about you, they're waiting for you, they can't wait to have a harmonious relationship. And this person also feels very selective. It doesn't feel like they love just anybody, or that they give their time or effort or even their emotions, their heart. It doesn't feel like they just give it to anybody. It definitely feels rare because, like, rainbows are kind of rare. You don't see rainbows in the sky all that often. So for them, they just know that they are like waiting for the real deal. They know they'll find it, but it's like they're just waiting because they are rare. And they know that when they're rare, they're not just going to give themselves out to anybody either. They are rare and they are seeking you, who is also rare in this sense. That's how that's coming through. And they're just always wondering. They're like, they're somewhere over the rainbow. That could be a significant song for you guys. Somewhere over the rainbow, they're just like, where are they? I feel like you guys haven't met each other. This energy definitely feels like somebody who is heavily daydreaming and heavily like wondering and questioning where you are in the world. So it feels like you don't know each other and you haven't crossed paths. Or else I think this person, or maybe if you have, maybe you just haven't stepped into like something romantic yet, but it really feels like there's an unknown when it comes to their love life right now. And they're just like dreaming, waiting for you, wondering where you are. I also think they definitely want like long-term commitment with all this Venus energy, the seventh house energy. They definitely want marriage, they want commitment, they want stability long term when it comes to their love life and their partner. This person is so wise because their higher self is the Empress. It's like they can't even explain sometimes why they feel certain things, or how do I say this? Like, they don't, like, you would get to know this person and you would think, oh my God, like you probably have had 100 lives before because you are so vast, you're so advanced, you're so evolved. Like, how do you know all these things? How are you just spewing wisdom everywhere all the time? How do you just know all these things that like the average person your age would not know these things, right? And yeah, I just think their higher self is so evolved as the divine feminine that sometimes they just be spilling facts and they just have no idea how they even know that. And I think you would be very shocked with them because you probably would never expect somebody to be as tuned in. Oh, you know what's interesting? I just heard that if you are skeptical about psychics or about intuitive energies or like the universe or signs and synchronicities or anything like that, like if you are skeptical, they will make you a believer because this person is literally so psychic, so in tune with everything that's happening that they're just going to be doing things or saying things or predicting things, and you're going to be very shocked. And I think they also turn other skeptics into believers because they're just like, it's so hard not to believe them. And they just have such a genuine, pure, wholesome energy. I feel like this person doesn't really lie. They probably don't do anything bad. They really treat everyone with kindness, with equality. They love everybody. Like, this is just a very genuine sweetheart. And I think their image reflects that. I think they look like an innocent person that's just radiating happiness, that'll be your friend. They're very like welcoming. Like you could probably go up to them and talk to them. They don't really look too intimidating. Or even if they do, I think once you start to get to know them, you realize they're such a big softie and they have such a big heart. Yeah, interesting. This rainbows, it's like really sticking out to me. What's so funny is obviously like when it comes to our higher selves, like there's no such thing as like popularity or like one being better than the other, but it almost feels like their higher self is like the coolest, most evolved, like just like the most popular, like everyone wants to get to know this person or everyone wants to get to know their higher selves. Like it's coming through as like them in the 3D being a child or this little kid vibe. It's like they don't even realize how cool or how powerful or how popular their higher self is, and they would be like absolutely shocked because it almost feels like in the 3D they don't view themselves the way their higher self is. they might, you know, view themselves a little lower than that, or they might be insecure, or they might really doubt themselves or belittle themselves from time to time. Um, but it's like they would be so shocked if they found out that their higher self is like the most popular of all the higher selves, or it's like is one that's just accomplished so much, has evolved so much. Like they would be so shocked to find that out, because I feel like they don't really view themselves that way in the 3D, which I think would really shock you, because you would be like, what do you mean? You're the most beautiful person I've ever seen, whether it's whoever it is, like you're the most handsome or the most beautiful. But I think they, you know, they sometimes don't see themselves that way. But I think this person just has a lot to go on their own evolution. I'm not saying that they're young and immature and childish or anything like that, because I think they're already very mature, very wise for however old they are, but it seems like they have a lot to go on their evolution journey, especially because of how powerful their higher self is. It feels like they have a lot to go until they can match this energy in the 3D. But they will get there. This person almost feels like they have a destiny, like a very important destiny. It's like they have to fulfill something here, and their higher self is like helping them, getting them ready to fulfill this destiny here on Earth. It's like they have a quest. They're on a very specific quest. And they have a long way to go until then. So I think they would definitely need somebody who is going to be along the ride for this evolution that they are going through. But overall, I think with the Two of Cups, this is a very deep person. You have deep conversations with this person. This is not a surface level individual at all. Lots of intuitive conversations, lots of insightful conversations here. Their emotions run deep, their beliefs run deep. They really stand up for what they believe in. I feel like this is not somebody where you can like persuade them. If they believe something and they believe this to be true, they're standing by it. They're not easily influenced by other people. And they have such a big heart, but only one other person can have that cup that can fulfill them, and they just haven't found it yet. Yeah, there's a lot of daydreaming about you going on. Definitely hopeless romantic vibes coming through as well. Let's move this, and now let's go in with the tarot deck and just answer some questions. And then, of course, if I see, you know, more of what's going on here, I will I will let you guys know. So let's get in with this. Oh my. Do I see what it is? Because it kind of popped out. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with their strengths. All right. Whether they are masculine or feminine in the real world, it really doesn't matter, but they are looking for their equal. So like, if they are the Empress, they are looking for the Emperor, which is you. But if they're the Emperor, they're looking for their Empress. It's like, this is the type of person, that's why they're single. That's why they don't date. Because their energy is just on such a unique frequency that not everyone is compatible with it, and not everybody understands it. Not everyone can like just be with this person, and they know that. And that's why they have their eyes set on a very specific type of person, and it would be the other divine, masculine or feminine. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be the Emperor to the Empress, or the Empress to the Emperor. You can't be an Empress dating somebody much lower than you in that scale that we're talking about. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's go ahead and see what are their strengths for group 4's person. What are their strengths in life? Ooh, their intuition. Immediately I read this as their intuition is your greatest strength, which we can already see that. I mean, if your higher self is literally the divine feminine, like you're literally source itself, then yes, I do think your intuition would be your strongest asset. 18 could be a significant number, and then we have more Cancer energy. So because the moon is Cancer. Let's get one card for their weaknesses. For group 4's person's weaknesses. Let's get a card for their weaknesses, please. Ah! All right, group 4's person's weaknesses. This is so random, but I feel like this person is very seductive. I don't know why or where that came from, but this moon just really got me thinking of like very sexy, mysterious, seductive energy for some reason. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think that could be one of their traits, especially physically. I feel like this person is very, very physically attractive, and they really have like this very sexy physical image. So yes, they could be very seductive. Let's see, one of their weaknesses, please. Ah. The Page of Swords. Interesting how so many pages are coming out. I also feel like this person is going to keep you guessing and keep surprising you. Because again, we were just talking about them having like a more innocent look. Maybe they look like they could be just very innocent, very, you know, like they look like they wouldn't be super seductive, or they look like they wouldn't have that sexy side to them, or like demon time to them. I don't know why like all these messages are coming through, but it does feel like this person would keep surprising you. Because I think that they're actually very flirty, and they're actually very fun, and they like to have a good time, and maybe they could be very sexual as well, you know, like that's how it's coming through, is that as you would get to know them, you would be kind of shocked. You'd be like, oh my god, like I thought, like you seem so innocent, you look and act so innocent, but you definitely have like demon time. And I think they would just surprise you in that sense. But I think that's also something that like you like in this person, and I think that as you get to know them, that's something that you're like, oh, I didn't know that you had like these qualities. And then I think that like, you know, makes you fall for them even more. I think you would have fell for them anyway, whether they like, whether you guys did anything or not. But I do think that like there's a lot of chemistry. I'm just like, I'm getting so much chemistry here. So I think even if you guys didn't really do physical things or anything like that, I think you would still really like this person. But I think it's like the cherry on top, and it's very much like it catches you off guard, and you're just like, whoa, I did not know, like I did not know this about you. And I do feel like this person has many layers. They're like an onion. Like there's many layers, and they show you one layer at a time, and they take their time. They're not gonna just like reveal everything about themselves right away. They have many layers. Okay, so this is their weakness. I want to get everything and then talk about it. Let's get a card for their career, please. For group 4's person's career. What is their career? Oh, 8 of Pentacles. That is a very career card. This person has definitely built something for themselves in regards to their career, because the 8 of Pentacles, something is already established. So they've already been doing something for a while. They've built something for themselves. They have something to like show forth when it comes to what they do as a career, or they have made enough accomplishments. Can we clarify the 8 of Pentacles for their career, please? Oh, the King of Cups. Okay. And then let's get a card for their hobbies or anything they really like to do. Ooh, the King of Pentacles. Got 2 kings out. Let's clarify the King of Pentacles as a hobby or whatever they like to do for fun. Let's clarify the King of Pentacles. Page of Cups. That's the exact same card. This is the third group that got this exact card. Well, technically the other two groups, it was like their intro card was their court card. But, I mean, here we have the Page of Cups, so it still counts because we got the same card out twice. Okay, so, yes, so for their strengths, it's definitely their intuition, their seductive nature. They're very mysterious, but they use it to their advantage, and I think it really helps them, you know. It works in their favor to be mysterious in that sense. Wow, their intuition really helps them out. I also just heard it saves them from a lot of things. Like they just kind of like know things before going into it or before getting involved with somebody or before like doing anything. It's like they already get inklings, they already get feelings or visions. They already it's their intuition saves them from a lot that could potentially happen. And I really think they do look to their intuition for guidance. It's like this moon is looking up to this empress for guidance. And I also think they're very loving and nurturing. And they're very deep. We already said that, right? Like they're very deep. Because the moon is not a surface level energy. It's vast. It has layers, just like this onion. For their weaknesses, as the Page of Swords, I feel like they could tend to overthink at times. They could overthink situations. They could get very curious. I literally heard like curiosity killed the cat, which is a terrible saying, by the way, because I have cats. But I feel like that's how this person is. They're very curious about a lot of things. So maybe they just end up, you know, sometimes they're just like their curiosity gets them carried away. But I do think they tend to overthink. They overthink scenarios and situations. And I think that it's funny because we're literally talking about them being the moon as a very intuitive energy that's an all-knowing energy. But this is how it shows you that they're still human, because even though their intuition is pointing to something and signaling to something, their human self still wants to overthink something. And you know what? As an intuitive person myself, that actually makes a lot of sense, because there's times where I'm like, is that a sign or am I just going crazy? You know, and then I overthink situations because then I don't know. I'm like, wait, is this my intuition or am I just like making this up? So I can understand being an intuitive person, but still overthinking scenarios. I also think that another weakness that I could come up with for this Page of Swords energy here is that they get distracted easily, which we were kind of already talking about with curiosity. But it's sometimes it's like hard for them to like focus on one thing or commit to one thing long term. Their energy kind of bounces around. Maybe they have ADHD, because it's like they're focused on something, but then they're focused on something else. So they do something, but then they pick up something else. So their energy does feel a little scattered from time to time. And maybe that's like a grounding energy that they are working on, because this moon feels very grounding. So maybe sometimes they're just kind of up in the clouds and their goal is to try to meditate or try to, you know, ground themselves somehow. For their career, they definitely do something that they love. Oh, this is the Knight of Cups. I read it as the King of Cups. Oh, that actually totally changes like the entire message. So, and that actually makes more sense. For their career, they have been working towards the same thing for a very long time. And they're just like waiting for it to take off, or waiting for it to get to the potential that they know that it could be at. Because with the Knight of Cups, it's something that's slow. It's a slow moving energy. And the Eight of Pentacles shows us that they've been working towards this for a very, very, very long time, building something, sustaining something. So it feels like whatever they're doing for their career, they've done it for a long time. They have kind of built it from the ground up. So it could be some kind of a small business or something, you know, something that they've been working on for a very long time. and they're kind of waiting for it to take off, or waiting for it to like blow up, or waiting for it to get to the level that they know that it could be at. But I think either way, they're so happy with it. Because again, I don't think this is a very materialistic person. I don't think they care about materialistic things. Their higher self definitely does not. And I think that shows in their 3D self. This is definitely not the person that would be spending thousands of dollars on items or superficial things or just materialistic things. Money definitely does not rule this person. I think they have good money habits, but at the same time, they're not like craving more money. I think they would want financial freedom, but I don't think they're like money hungry, if that makes sense. So even if their business or whatever they're doing for their career, even if it's not making $1 million a year, I think they're still very happy with what they're doing. But it definitely feels like something they've poured time, effort into for a very long time, and they're very proud of it. And there's a lot of emotional fulfillment that comes from their career. And the Knight of Cups is water energy, which again brings me back to intuition. So there could be something about intuition that is like revolving around their career as well. And then for something they like to do for fun or their hobbies, we have the King of Pentacles and we have the Page of Cups. For the Page of Cups in this scenario, I'm feeling like this is somebody that wants to try new things. They could be very artistic because this is a very beautiful image. Lots of colors going on. So they could like to paint, they could like to draw, they could be some kind of an artist. Let me get one more card just to clarify this King of Pentacles and the Page, because it's 2 court cards, so it's kind of like tough. Can we clarify this King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles? Let's clarify this King of Pentacles. Oh, the Sun. Oh, wow. Yeah, even that's a very beautiful image. I definitely think they could be a very artistic person because of all of the colors that we're seeing. And we were thinking about a rainbow earlier. So that makes sense that they could be very creative and or artistic. I feel like this is a very down-to-earth person because of the King of Pentacles. It makes me feel like this person could kind of just like keep to themselves. Like, you know, they have friends, they enjoy doing the things they like to do, but I don't feel like they're super flashy. It doesn't come through as the person that would be like partying every weekend. They're very down to earth, they're very humble, they're very practical, realistic. And I'm getting it is that they take pleasure in like the little things in life. So like painting, you know, that's like a little thing, but they gain a lot of pleasure from it. So it's like for them on their free time, they don't need to be doing a whole lot for them to be happy and for them to just like take it in, be in the moment, appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's everything that's coming through now. So hopefully that all made sense. Now we're going to go into the second part of the reading. So let me set up and I'll be right back. Okay guys, we are on the next part of our reading. So this is going to show us what the connection is actually like. So this is going to be your energy in the connection. This is going to be your person's energy in the connection, and this is going to be the energy of the connection itself. So we'll just see like what you're going to be like, what you're going to be like, what they're going to be like. And when I did shuffle the cards, I did put my intentions that this is your energy and this is their energy. But again, the energies could be flipped or you guys could be mirroring each other. So if you see part of yourself here, like that's totally okay. You know, take the messages however it resonates to you. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So this is like our deep dive into what the connection will actually be like for the both of you. So let's start off with your energy. Aw, you're incredible. Do you know that? It's very sweet. Aw, happiness with the number 15. I don't really know how to pronounce that word down there, but that is already, I'm just like cheesing. Like already this is just like fairy tale vibes. We have the 4 of Pentacles. Ooh, moon memories with the past. Okay. And we have the King of Earth with prosperous, generous, and successful. So that is the King of Pentacles. Okay, so now let's look at their energy, and this is when I start to run out of space. Oh, I love you more. Oh, success with a number 20 and peppermint. And there's a key. There's a little key on here. They have the key to your happiness. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Protection. I think another group actually got this exact same card. Oh my gosh. The Emperor. Organization, leadership, and structure. We officially have the Emperor and the Empress out. Because we have the Empress from earlier. And their energy is literally the Emperor in this connection. So that's amazing. This could definitely be the King or Queen of Pentacles. This could be the Emperor or the Empress. And then this is the energy of the overall energy of the connection itself. We have the Ace of Trees with abundance. Oh, then we have 9 with fulfillment of wishes. And look, there's a treasure chest. And they have the key to fulfill the fulfillment of wishes for both of you. Okay, let's try to make space here. I think, okay, so I want to start off, maybe I'll bounce around, but for your person, I feel like long-term stability is very important to them, and we did kind of talk about that earlier. So one thing that they take very seriously in this connection is the long-term stability. With the Seven of Pentacles here, I feel like throughout this connection, they will be very serious about nurturing the connection, loving the situation, and really being able to like provide the best for you. That way you guys have a good long-term relationship. Like this person is investing a lot into this connection and they're making sure everything is going well, so that way you guys can last a long time, in a sense. You know, that's really what's important to this person. With the Emperor here, I feel like it's so funny because for their energy spread that we did, their higher self was coming through as the Empress, so that loving, nurturing, feminine energy. But then when they're in this connection with you, we see the Emperor. So I feel like in this connection, they want to take care of you, and they take that very seriously. Even with protection, this also feels like a very masculine, you know, obviously it doesn't have to be, but it feels masculine in the sense, like protection with the Emperor feels very masculine. Like, I got you, I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to protect you, I'm going to look out for you, I'm going to provide for you. With the Emperor, it says organization, leadership, and structure. So I think they're very different when they're in a relationship with somebody that they really love, because then they want to like really build that stable foundation for you and be able to take care of you as long as they need to. They feel like you guys just fit hand in hand so perfectly, because with success coming out as their energy in this connection, they just feel like it works so well. You know, like you guys just mesh together really well. You're very, very compatible, and it's just very easy. Like you don't have to, this person feels like you don't have to try hard to make the relationship work. And they're probably very sweet with you. Like they probably have words of affirmation as one of their love languages, because I love how it says I love you more. And then it made me think of somebody who is always buying you flowers, or is always texting you things like this, like how I'm thinking about you, or that they love you. I feel like words of affirmation and gifts are like very important to this person, and I think they'll constantly remind you. That's what it is. It's like this person wants to remind you that they love you, that you are worth it, that you're beautiful, that you are everything and more. It's like this is something they'll probably tell you constantly throughout your entire relationship. Yeah, and they're always thinking about, like, no matter what they're doing, They're always thinking about, how is this going to better my relationship? How is this going to help my relationship? Would this not help my relationship? You know, I feel like they're always asking themselves these questions because they don't want to act in a way that would take away from the long-term success of this relationship. 20 could be a significant number. 27, or the 20th of a month, the 7th of a month. The number 4 could be significant. This is Aries energy coming through. And then we have Taurus energy here. And then the wish fulfillment is the 9 of Cups. So we have Pisces. Yeah, this is Pisces energy here. And even with the Ace of Trees, this is the Ace of Pentacles, but we have the word abundance, and we have the entire tree, including the roots. So that again shows that the overall energy of this connection is long-term stability. You guys have been planting the seeds. You have been nurturing the connection. There is the solid tree now. So it's like, this is going to last a very long time. So the overall dynamic of the connection feels very healthy, very strong, very stable, and it feels like nothing is going to shake you. Nothing is going to shake you guys. Nothing is going to make you change your mind or make them change their mind. It's like you have a very solid relationship with each other. And with the 9 here, fulfillment of wishes, this is literally like happily ever after. You are overjoyed with emotions. You're very, very emotionally fulfilled. So there's just so much happiness, literally. And your card here is literally happiness. So there's just a lot of happiness in this connection, not only in your energy, but also in their energy and the overall energy as well. This person definitely feels like the provider. This feels like I want to take care of you, I'm going to provide for you kind of an energy. And this is so cute. You are incredible. Do you know that? I feel like you're always like, every time this person does something sweet for you, like you always just end up with a smile on your face, and you're always just like, oh, you're so sweet. Like even in your mind, you know, you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did this for me. I can't believe, like, you know, everything that they do for you. You're just like, oh my God, like how, like, do you know how amazing you are? You know, that's very cute. I feel like this person will give you butterflies forever. This definitely feels like more of the feminine energy. This feels more like the masculine energy here. This feels more of the person that's getting showered with the compliments or with the gifts, or it almost feels like the energy is coming from this way to this way. But yeah, I feel like this person will give you butterflies forever, literally, like for your whole life. You could even be an old couple, oldies, and you're still getting butterflies from this person. The number 15 could be significant. I actually want to clarify something. I want to clarify this. This King of Earth. Can we clarify this King of Earth, please? And there's a tree. I just realized there's also a tree in this. I think I just got the message as I was shuffling. It feels like since this person is providing and like supporting, providing, and like really taking care of this person over here, I see this energy here as like, okay, then I'm going to take care of you in return. Because the way they carved this pentacle out of this tree, it feels like the person on this side, so like your energy, it's like, okay, like I'm gonna give back to you because of what you've given me, but I'm gonna make sure I take care of you as well with that. So like, for example, you're cooking, you're making all the meals, you're doing things around the home, or like you just have your own acts of service towards this person because like they do a lot of the heavy lifting or like the financial stuff, or they're just like taking care of you to some extent, and you're just like, well, I want to make sure that you feel loved and nurtured as well. So I'm gonna like do things for you on an everyday basis. So you could love to cook for them, you could love to like do little things for them that shows them that you love them. But this also feels like a giving back to this energy. It doesn't feel like you're just taking and taking and taking. It feels like it's bouncing back and forth. It's like they're giving it to you, you're like maybe recycling it or doing something new with it, you're giving it back to them, and then they're appreciating it and they're giving something back to you, and then you're doing something with it, give back to them. Like, it really feels like there's a back and forth here. It doesn't feel like they're just showering you and you're just taking it and absorbing it and that's it. It really feels like whatever it is they give you, you give something in return back to them. Aw, and another reason I feel like, okay, now I'm just holding on to this deck. Another reason I feel like you guys are going to grow old together is I feel like this is literally the both of you, like on the beach one day, you know, when you're oldies. And I think that you'll always have very fond memories with this person. For some of you, with this saying the past, and this looks like a positive image, maybe you had a past relationship with this person. Even though in the very beginning I did say, like, for most of you, I feel like you don't know who this person is. But for some of you, if this sounds like somebody from your past, it's very possible that you could be rekindling something from the past with this person. But I initially saw this as like you two are oldies at the beach and you're reminiscing about all the good times, you're reminiscing about your whole lives together. It just feels like the energy over here for the connection feels like I made it. Like, we've made it through a lot. And you are reminiscing about like all the times that you have with this person throughout your connection. It's interesting for the cards here, you both got earth signs, pentacle cards. This is Capricorn energy here, and this is the Four of Pentacles. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. You are like, you're the structure, you're the home that keeps this relationship together, or like holds this relationship down. Because the Four of Pentacles is also talking about home. Talk about like, in this sense, it's really talking about a home. And it feels like you are doing, like, you are the foundation, or like you keep the home together. I don't know why it's coming through like that. It's like you do everything so that way the relationship stays to where it is. Like, you are the glue that holds everything together. But I think you love that, and you love providing in that way back to your person. This definitely feels like a stereotypical masculine feminine energy, where the masculine one is like providing, doing all of like the outside things, and then the feminine one is doing more of like the homey things, or like keeping everything together, keeping the house together, running the family. You know, it kind of feels very stereotypical in that way. Obviously you can do whatever, you can definitely have your own things and your own career and all of that. And actually that was another thing I was about to say with this, is I think that even if with the Emperor and this being a very financially stable person, I think you would still have your own business or your own career or your own finances in some way. And it's funny because I feel like this person wouldn't really, like, doesn't expect you to like pay for a lot of things, or like go out of your way to like, you know, to like make a lot of money, or like they just don't expect that. But whenever you do, and you do get paid, you love to like spoil them in that way as well. And they think that's really cute, that like you don't have to work but you do, or like you don't have to like provide in some way but you do, and you use that to spoil them back. It's cute. It's like this cute dynamic that I see going on back and forth here. But yeah, I'm really seeing this as like you are holding this relationship together. I also see this as somebody where your physical, oh my god, where your love language is physical touch. Like, this is really making me think of somebody who's very touchy, very huggy, very cuddly all the time. So I think that will be something important for you, is physical touch in this connection. Yeah, there's so much love here. Oh my gosh. So this is everything that I'm seeing. Now we're going to go into the extended, which is going to talk about where are they now. We're going to talk about, are they ready for this connection? How will you meet this person? Are there any time frames? And we'll also get messages directly from them to you. So all of that will be linked in the description below. Like I said, it's on Patreon, and you'll get access to everything else we have over there, and the viewers get to suggest the monthly readings over there. So if you're interested, definitely go ahead and check that out. If not, that's totally okay, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this here on YouTube. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was accurate. And take good care of yourself, you guys. Please like this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the extended, or I'll see you next time. Bye.